It's December 16th, 2024. I am Actual Pearl, and it's time to get in the weeds. A Monday morning extravaganza like no other. Plenty to talk about, plenty to do. Jeremy Lambert is here, and how are you?
This is a good run. The intro is like messed up for me. It started late and ended early.
Oh, didn't have any problems on this side. Hopefully, there were no technical difficulties for anyone else.
All right.
How many tabs do you have open? Maybe that's the problem.
Just the usual.
Maybe you just need to reboot your computer at one point today.
Nah, I don't feel like doing that.
You had a RAM. Maybe that's the problem. All your memory's been used up.
I prefer a Dodge.
Fair. Isn't the Dodge also a Dodge Ram?
Yeah, it is.
Well, that joke just went right out the window. Oh, it must be early. It must be Monday.
Prefer a Chevrolet.
There you go. You're going to drive your Chevy to the levee?
No, it was dry.
Oh, damn it. Well, get your... We don't have whiskey or rye. We have the other stuff.
Tequila?
The only one that matters.
Yeah. I don't have it with me.
You're not with you? You finally given it up for now?
No. I mean, it's here. It's just not next to me. I don't keep it next to me at all times.
That would be I don't know if that's a flex or a problem.
It's a problem. I got a bunch of kids. I don't need them coming in here and being like, what's this bottle doing next to your desk? Why do you need this? And I'm going to say, well, kids, I'm old and I'm effing tired and I work with effing children. And so I need it to just keep tequila on me. And then they're like, isn't that man who originally said that straight edge? And I'm like, yes, he's better than me. I can't do that.
No, that's the one who wears the scarf is better than you.
Well, no, CM Punk said that first. Straight edge means I'm better than you.
That
Learn
is
your history. Are you the dork who, like, when Miseria Cantera came on, you're like, I don't get it. I don't understand what this is all about.
No, I have
one of those dorks, huh, Joel?
No, I have more than three letters in my name. It's okay.
One of those guys.
No, we're okay. Daddy smells like his sadness juice again. Good Lord.
Juice, Jesus.
I hope you're not pulling from something, Ryan. Anyway, happy Monday. You know who we are. You know what we do. If you got the next 2 hours to spare, you can come and listen to us wax poetic about absolute ridiculousness. And if you haven't already, leave a thumbs up on the video. Let's get the pyro and ballyhoo going. You ready for this? You got the thumbs? They go? Yeah, there you go. Toss a like on the video. There you go. YouTube just did a little thing around the thumbs up. So go ahead, toss that on. And subscribe to us here at Fightful Overbooked. If you haven't already, that is always helpful to get our influence out there onto the rhythms of Al Gore. And you can donate a super chat. Any amount, get your question or statement read on the air. If you say the line, I don't know. YouTube is weird. So yeah, donate a super chat. Any amount, get your question or statement read on the air. We were told during the holiday stream that a lot of what we do ends up getting us demonetized on other platforms. Facebook doesn't count. It's okay. This one's fine. But then... Yeah, so... Did you see you got the message later on that night? I don't know if you have YouTube on your phone. You have YouTube Studio on your phone?
No.
Okay, so you remember, so we did the holiday stream on Saturday for those who don't remember this. Over on the main channel. It's our holiday stream where the staff hang out. We did a watch along of Saturday night's main event, which is watch alongs are always a great way to engage everyone and talk at the same time. Anyway, so instead, Sean just pulls out his meme folder and just starts blasting through stuff. And this was after he had told us that the boom video that we have keeps getting us demonetized on Facebook. And we're like, all right, okay, that sucks, whatever. And then he starts playing all these other memes. And I look at him, I'm like, that's the one that's going to get us demonetized. He's like, I don't care. I wake up in the middle of the night to a message from YouTube Studio saying, your video is now ineligible for monetization. And I looked at the video. It was that damn video. It was a music video he played. No, it was a music video he played in the middle of the stream.
Oh, yeah. He played a long music video. Yeah.
Yeah. And I said, I'm like, that's the one. And he's like, oh, whatever. And I'm like, what are we doing here?
I mean, clearly he didn't care about that one.
You can clip that out.
So the boom video apparently gets us demonetized. Like, I know he said that. It does it on YouTube. We don't get any, like, thing on YouTube.
No, we don't. I think it's a Facebook thing. And honestly, I don't think Facebook's like doing anything for us.
Yeah.
No offense if you're watching us on Facebook. Like I know some of y'all.
Full offense if you're watching us on Facebook.
Some people leave, thumbs up and care emojis and all that stuff. We appreciate it. And some of y'all get in the chat on Facebook, and that's cool too. But like, come on, YouTube's our bread and butter.
So, okay, it doesn't get us demonetized on YouTube. Do I need to switch to the, because for some of the videos we have just the graphic, but for other videos we have the audio and we have the video and the graphic, or the video with it. Like the boom video is the video, but for this,
I guess that means you need to shut the fuck up. That's what I do if I don't have no army. I would fuck up. Shut the fuck up.
That's
just the
fine.
graphic.
Yeah, no, but the problem is it's not. There's no rhyme or reason, because it's whoever makes the claim is based on what's already been put out there. Like whatever's been protected by the clip owner, that's what's there. And like it's weird with YouTube.
But if we just have the audio and not the video,
hypothetically it's okay. But if it's music, it's different, right? So if that was a song, we would have been hits.
Okay, we're gonna, we're to try to help out here. We're gonna switch the boom video. We're still gonna bring the boom, everybody, but we're just gonna have the graphic now.
For the record,
it's not gonna be video.
That episode where we kept doing it, no problems. Like not one. Nothing wrong. Like no, we didn't even get golden dollar sign out of it.
Yeah, but we don't know about Facebook.
I don't know if we're monetized on Facebook.
We're very monetized on Facebook. What are you talking about? I don't know.
I don't think we are. I feel like this has been an ongoing conversation, a pretty public one, about whether or not we are. But I don't know. Maybe I'm wrong.
I'm just trying not to get us in trouble here, Joel. That's all.
Oh, that's fine. I mean, listen, our boss then turned around and played a music video in the middle of that stream.
Well, yeah.
What are we doing here?
He's got more freedom than we do on this kind of stuff.
Love it. Play the video, have a neckbeard, do the audio. Talk about all this wrestling.
This cat is going to annoy the shit out of me. Okay, now you want out. Can you not?
This sounds about right. This is what cats do.
Get out.
This is what we do. Someone asking what's Facebook. Oh, it's what your crazy Aunt Penny goes on when she needs an idea what to talk about with her friends at the salon or church or something. I don't know.
What?
The internet's full of people doing weird stuff.
Well, yeah.
The Fightful holiday stream is when again? It was this past Saturday.
Allegedly.
Allegedly. Yeah. We were there.
Allegedly.
There were plenty of people there. We hope you were there. We hope you had fun. Facebook's just AI slop. Jason's got it in the chat.
I don't care if you were there or not, honestly.
Can we, speaking of videos that will or will not get you demonetized, can I play you my new favorite wrestler's entrance?
No.
So I just came across this. This is a guy on the indies. For those of you who get it, you're about to be tremendously entertained. I can think of one person in your household is about to be continuously laughing over this. May I present to you Stephen Flow?
Okay, I've got to respect that it just goes Stephen Flow, and instead of even going like something's on the butterfly or whatever, it just goes Stephen Flow. I gotta respect
it. Love wrestling. Say, I bet it's Stephen Flow. You bet it's Stephen Flow. We got to get Stephen Flow on the show now. That's absurd. Oh my goodness. Yeah, I stumbled across that this morning, and I was like, we got to put this out there. That's amazing. Oh. Anyway, if that video gets us demonetized, we can make an assertion.
Yeah, you're gonna get us demonetized, Joel.
Well, the lyrics were redone, so you can argue that it's a karaoke track.
Okay,
probably how we did it.
We'll see if that holds up in the court of demonetization.
People in the chat saying Stephen Flow should be in the Mania main event. I mean, that's wide open now. I'm fine with that.
I mean, I agree with that.
Coming out with his double flannel.
Yeah.
Very 90s, very Stephen Flow, very appreciative. Go find him.
Very Steven flow.
Very much so.
Okay.
Couple super chats. Kim Gray sent one saying Merry Christmas to you. I may not be around as much lately, but your Mississippi friend loves you. Well, we love you too. Hope you're doing well and enjoy your holidays. Hopefully it's a nice and relaxing time. I know some people struggle around these times, and we hope that you're having the best time you can possibly have.
Happy
What are we up?
holidays.
Happy holidays indeed. What are we up to? How was your weekend? I know you worked a lot. I know that's pretty par for the course, but did you do anything non-wrestling related this weekend?
No.
Wow. I mean, there was a show every single day this weekend, Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. You're right. There was multiple shows in most cases.
I watched the Oklahoma City Thunder advance to the finals of the NBA Cup.
All right. I knew you were excited for that. The Ducks beat the Blue Jackets.
That doesn't really count.
They also got beat by the Sens and the Leafs. So there's that.
Good talk.
Yeah, good talk. Glad we did this. Great weekend for sports. What now? Oh, right. Okay. Chelsea Green won a championship on Saturday.
Allegedly.
Now the longest reigning women's United States champion in history.
Allegedly.
People really enjoyed that article that was written about this. No weird people about that at all. Everyone celebrated.
There was a couple weird people.
No one took it in. There always will be.
But it wasn't that bad. Like usually there's like a bunch. On the whole, it was pretty tame. So I'll take it.
Yeah, it's fine. And listen, it's funny. I think someone had mentioned in the replies there, be like, we got to repost this every single day. And I thought that was very, very clever. Just every day you do that. Yeah, please. Let's just do it. Let's just get it going. But yeah, Chelsea wins the U.S. Championship, beats Michin at Saturday night's main event. We'll lead off with that and get into Saturday night's main event. We were watching mostly, on other screens, but show itself was good. I enjoyed what Saturday night's main event was because it was a 2-hour nostalgia show that was very just straightforward. And like the most important stuff was what happened at the end of the show, but you still had at least one championship moment, and that was Chelsea getting hers. So, overall, I thought the show was solid. It was what it needed to be, just 2 hours of entertainment on a Saturday night. What do you think overall?
I don't know. I was working.
Ah, that is true. However, when you're working, you're still watching. You're covering.
No, because I had to be part of this watch along. I was very active on the watch along, as everyone knows.
Yes, you had plenty to say. I was very surprised. A lot of opinions.
Yeah.
Your opinions about Toni Storm definitely shine through. A lot of people had what to say about your Toni Storm time cop stuff. We're gonna get to that.
I thought the show was okay. I didn't think it was great. I thought it needed a little bit more juice, and the fact that they did their biggest angle off the air was like, oh, all right, really? Like this.
I love that they did it. I loved it because on a show that was all about nostalgia, they already knew you were going to watch Raw. Now they've given you a reason to watch a tape SmackDown. And on top of that, this is what they've been doing with the Kevin story. Most of the beats, the major beats, have been off air after special events. The Bad Blood turn, that was done off the air in a back lot. This one was done off the air after the show went off the air. The package pile driver stuff was special for certain people, like you and me, like the bubble people. We got it. Like there's a subsect of the fans that like didn't know about that.
There feels like there's a little bit of diminishing return with this off-air stuff, though. Like this is a hot angle. This is a big time thing. Like he's using the package pile driver. Like some people haven't seen that. When he used the pile driver on Orton, it was made to be a big deal. It felt like you could have put this on TV. Like it felt like you needed something like this on TV after that show. It was a fine 2-hour wrestling show. I thought the triple threat was good, or the 3-way, whatever you want to call it. That was good. That the matches for the most part were like fine to good. Nothing spectacular. If you want to go match by match in everything, like the stuff on AEW was higher quality of in-ring wrestling. And this show just felt like, oh, okay, it's like a 2-hour, felt like a special episode of Raw or SmackDown. And look, maybe that's all people like wanted to be, but it felt like for the first time show like this, you needed this big, like, oh, tune in and see this. If you didn't watch this show, you didn't miss anything. You missed Chelsea, which is fine. You knew you were going to get Chelsea and Micha, and one of them was going to be the first ever women's United States champion. But if you didn't watch it, you saw what you needed to see online, because the big thing they shot was online. I don't know. I just think you could have put that on television. You've already done so much with Kevin online, which is fine. But at some point, like, do some of this stuff on TV.
I felt like it was good. And Ken Bruno sent, he says, doesn't send a super chat. His comment was, counterpoint, you're in front of a broadcast audience with some folks, some that may not watch regularly. That was a cliffhanger. And I agree with that. Again, you're in that weird position where, yes, you are not taping live every week going into the holidays. So like they did have to do something because SmackDown had already been taped and they hadn't done a Cody and KO angle in front of the crowd, because then it would have given away what happened on Saturday night's main event, unless you had like both men not show up with the title, but then you have to explain why someone doesn't have the title on a Friday. Like, you know what I'm trying to say. So for me, knowing that SmackDown was taped, it made sense to do something off the air, because then it gets people talking going into Monday. On top of that,
but don't people get talking going into Monday if you do this angle on television?
Sorry, can you repeat that?
Don't you get people talking if you do the same angle on television?
Not necessarily.
What do you mean not necessarily?
No, because there is a huge fan base that's watching online and they're watching just the clips. That's a reality. Like, you can't.
That same fan base is watching it on television.
Not necessarily. Not necessarily. Sometimes they're just trying to convert people to watch the TV show for 2 hours because they can't get it.
Stop it.
What?
Stop it.
Okay, how many times do you think I watched the full 2 hours of Monday Night Raw, or the full 2 hours of SmackDown, or the full 2 hours of NXT, or the full 2 hours of AEW Dynamite, or the full 2 hours of Collision? I watched Collision in an hour yesterday.
Joel.
What?
You can't. They're going to post the angle online still. It's not like, oh, it's just on television and you can only see it on television. You're still posting it online.
Okay, great. Remember when they had the US Championship flip on a house show at MSG a few years back, and that was talk of the town? Because house shows, you never see a title change at a house show. Well, this was one of those moments. You never see an angle play out like this on a house show, unless again, MSG was another time when they had Brock. Was it Brock beating Austin Theory? Whatever it was, there was one time recently at a house show in the last couple of years where like they did a Roman and Brock segment and it turned into a beat 'em up, and like that got people talking, because sometimes
that's a house show.
Okay, that's fine. Saturday night's main event was a glorified house show in a lot of ways. It was a nostalgia show. It was a nostalgia show with title matches.
But it shouldn't be.
It was a fight night. It was never going to
happens on fight nights. What are you talking about?
This is exactly what you and I talked about when Saturday night's main event was announced. We said, like, let's look back at the card. They're going to do the hot card first week, and then it's going to become whatever it becomes. It's going to just trickle into whatever. This was their attempt to at least find something to make important after the fact. Someone saying Saturday night's main event was Battle of the Belts. Yeah, in some ways it was.
This is not a defense for not doing this on TV. You are praising them for not doing this.
I am, and I think it was good not to do it on TV. I think
you were basically saying, yeah, the television show, it wasn't important. It wasn't an important show. But you know what was important? Posting this online.
Yeah, that was what happens next. You know what happens next? Those people who only saw it in the arena originally are saying, holy shit, if I go to a show, I might only see this in the arena. And then what? You got TV, fine. TV's fine, but you can make
get the same reaction, Joel!
On ticket sales. How much fucking money do you make on ticket sales? Jesus Christ, you can't get angry at me about knowing that their bread and butter is on a ticket sale for a live event. And people will want to say, I can see this special event at the show, this special moment live that I won't necessarily see on TV. I got a once in a lifetime opportunity to see this moment, and I did. And yeah, sure, it's on socials now because that's part 2, but I saw it live before everyone else.
It was a televised special, Joel. It was not a house show. It was a televised special. If you are having trouble selling tickets to your televised special, which they're not, by the way, they will tell you they are not. I don't know, in case you've been living under a rock, Joel, WWE is on fire right now.
You can't quote him. He doesn't like to be quoted or put on TV.
They are not having trouble selling tickets to their television shows.
You're right, but you know what they can do when this happens? They can boost the prices, which is what they want to do, so that every time they come to a town, they can say, hey, we boosted the gate with the largest North American blah, 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 money, 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 because that's what that business is all about. If they can make $2 more on a ticket per ticket, they will do it to get this. Why am I supporting that? Because that's what their business is. I didn't say I think it's a good idea, but this is the money that they're making is on the ticket sales for the events. And if they can make an extra $1, they're going to make an extra $1. I worked for a cruise ship company. Wait, anymore. I worked on cruise ships. When they sent me home, if they had to route me on a 4-hour delay on a flight back to save a penny, they would do it. Do I think that's shitty business? Sometimes I do, but this is what they want to do to get people to pay more to go into the building, and that's just another part of their business strategy.
Okay.
Go ahead. Tell me that it should be on TV and everyone should see it live. And
I've made my point. You've made your point. We're not going to argue in circles over here. I think it could have been on television. I think it should have been on television because you're still posting it online anyway. If you think it's, oh, well, now the people in the crowd got this great moment and that's going to lead to more house show attendance or more live event attendance, fine. I think you're going to get the same attendance if you do this stuff and show it on television. It's a live event special that's on TV. The people who left there were probably going to go to the next one anyway. I don't think they're all of a sudden, oh man, I'm going to really go to these shows now because I'm going to witness something that I wouldn't have witnessed otherwise. Because if you put it on TV, you're still making that special. In fact, the fact that more people would see it on TV is like, oh, I really need to go to this. Like, it's fine. Well,
then you play it on socials.
Yes.
It's 3-pronged. You do it live and people say, holy shit, I got my money's worth. I saw this thing that nobody got to see live. And then you turn around, you put it on television, you put it on socials, people get hyped, and then they turn around and they watch either the TV on the Monday or Friday, whatever it is, and it hypes them up even more. They put so much into their socials. They have put so much into their social development, and this is just another chapter for them.
You know what also is cool for audiences? Maybe the television viewers at home, where they had a very large audience on NBC who watched this show and then maybe walked away a little bit disappointed because not a whole lot happened. Where if they saw this angle on television, they would have been like, ooh, this was worthwhile. This was worth tuning in for. And now they might, maybe they lost those viewers because they don't live online and they didn't see it online. And they, at the end of that show, they're just like, that was just a regular old special that I didn't really tune in and miss anything. Because, there is a fan base that isn't online, Joel. There's a fan base that 2 million, 3 million, I don't know how many people watch this show on NBC. We'll get the ratings tomorrow. It will figure it out. But those people who weren't online, who didn't see this angle at all, they just walked away with that show like, yeah, it was fine. Don't really need to see the next one because nothing important happens. What about those viewers, Joel?
Well, the good news is on Monday night when they tune into Raw, they'll see the video replayed for them. And if they check socials, they check WWE or whatever, then they'll see them.
Okay.
Because that's where they put a lot of their stuff is over on socials, because not everyone is watching a 2-hour show for 2 hours. Some people are watching it in chunks. Some people are only watching on socials. Because that's how they want to view the product.
Okay.
And some people just want to go to a live show, and whatever happens afterwards is a cool added feature.
Okay.
Kevin Owens has a WWE championship, took it from Cody.
Did he walk away with the title? He like dropped
Yep.
it when Triple H shoved him. He picked it back up.
Probably picked it back up. Took it.
Okay.
He's going to have it with him on Friday, at least behind the. He's got the photos with him with it, the old photos, saying that this is his now, which is good. Everyone said he's going to take that title. He took that title. Kevin Owens did what he set out to do. Got his title back.
No one saw it though. How do we know he has it? It was only online.
If you're over on socials, then which most people are, because a lot of people have the things that they put.
Not all of them though. If everybody was on socials who watched the show, these numbers would be way better, because they do 100 million impressions on socials, but they don't do 100 million viewers. So there's disconnect there somewhere.
It's almost as if you put it on socials exclusively after the fact, and there are more people watching, then it's a win.
It's almost as if you could still put it on socials and still do those numbers, because, they showed Roman Reigns and CM Punk and their little tete-a-tete, as you like to say, in the cage, and then put it on socials, and it still did big numbers. Amazingly. Weird that it still did big numbers. Imagine, though, Joel, how big those numbers would have been if they didn't show it on the pay-per-view. If it was like, we got exclusive footage of Roman preventing Punk from going out the cage. It was just on socials. Man, people would have tuned into Raw and tuned into SmackDown to see what would have happened next if they just had that moment on Twitter and not on socials.
Roman Reigns wants Solo Sikoa in Tribal Combat on Netflix. 566,000 views from SmackDown. That was the segment that aired. Full segment. Kevin Owens annihilates Cody Rhodes in a brawl. This was the SmackDown Go Home. 468,000 views from Friday. Again, aired on television. Exclusive. Kevin Owens obliterates Cody Rhodes with a pile driver. Saturday night's main event. 1 day ago. 1.2 million. And that's just YouTube.
Okay. They do stuff that does 1 million all the time on YouTube that also airs on television. You're not going to cite me YouTube numbers.
Friday, and the Go Home segment from Friday didn't. This did.
Yeah, it's a much bigger angle, though. You're telling me a regular brawl. Look at this, Joel. Full match. Cody Rhodes, Kevin Owens, 915,000 on YouTube. Full match.
Yep.
Just did a little less than this big angle. The same match that aired on television. So what is your point here?
My point is, when they're putting it on socials and they're putting it in front of a live crowd, it's two-pronged. They get the live crowd invested and interested, and they react, and then they're going to put it on socials, and they're going to get the reaction from that through socials, and it's going to carry them all the way to Monday when they replay it again on Raw, and the conversation starts again. Because not everyone saw it in one place, not everyone saw it in the second place. They'll make damn sure they see it in the third place. And if they all put it on Saturday night's main event, not everyone was watching Saturday night's main event. So now they're just prolonging this entire angle. And it's a good way to do it.
What do you mean they're prolonging it because not everybody was watching Saturday night's main event?
They're prolonging the fact that if you saw it on Saturday night's main event, you saw it and that's it. If you're watching it on socials, it's a different experience versus watching it on the television when it happens. You basically, and some people turned off Saturday night's main event. That was it. They didn't pick up their phones and thought about wrestling for the next day or two. So now they're going to go the next day. Oh shit, this is what happened. Now they're invested again. Now they're thinking again. Now they're talking about it again. And then you get to Monday, they're going to replay it on Raw. They're going to talk about Cody's cervical and whatever the fuck they said on medical, that his back hurts effectively. And they're going to say, oh, okay, well then now we have a reason to look forward to Friday when Kevin Owens speaks. And we get an update on Cody Rhodes. It's to keep people invested and still paying attention.
Okay.
You're prolonging it.
You have to admit this. More people are watching Saturday night's main event than they're going to watch Raw?
I don't know. I mean, yes, because it's NBC and Peacock. Yes, there is a reality there, but I don't know how many people are watching just because it's Saturday night's main event and it's something to do versus how many people are interested in watching Raw weekly or are just going to watch it on socials afterwards. Because there are those people that will just watch top 10 highlight reel, whatever.
Right. So you citing like 1.2 million views on YouTube. But Raw does just in general 1.5 million. It's up against 2 Monday Night Football games, by the way. 2 Monday Night Football games tonight. NBC, Saturday night's main event, not a whole lot of competition on Saturday, as we talked about on Friday. The biggest thing was like the Heisman ceremony, and that was over by the time you got to Cody and Kevin. More people are watching Saturday night's main event than are going to watch Raw than saw the angle on YouTube. So more people, theoretically, we won't fully know until the numbers come out, but evidence, theorizing, probably watched Saturday night's main event and probably would have seen that angle, then saw it on YouTube, which is, I know you're citing 1.2 million, like it's like a big deal, but like that's still less than the, let's say, 4 million that watched on NBC. That's still less. So you're actually giving it less credence here. You're actually giving it less viewership on socials because more people were watching Peacock.
4.4 million on Twitter. How's that?
Okay.
That's the impression rate.
That's
so
impression rate on Twitter. Let's not cite Twitter.
So now we're up to 5.6 if you want to get into impressions.
We're up to 5.6, assuming that that's one singular person watching it individually. You and I both know, Joel, that's not how it works. Let's not play dumb. It is not 4.4 separate people, 4.4 million separate people watching that clip. Don't do that.
Right. And I know that there aren't necessarily 1.2 million people watching Raw in any given week in the world because it's a US based analytic.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But what you also know is that
how many people outside of the US were able to easily watch Saturday night's main event?
A lot, because it aired for free on YouTube. So this argument ain't working.
If you knew where to find it. Sure, shit, Canada wasn't told like, hey,
but if you knew where to find it online, guess how you were watching the angle that took place afterwards, Joel?
Not necessarily, because you could have just been scrolling Twitter, Facebook, Instagram, which most people will do, and find it.
Still would have seen it because they would have posted it online afterwards. And then you know what would have happened? You would have been like, oh shit, I missed something important. Maybe next time I need to watch this thing.
Also, going back to when it aired live, it was unlisted. They only relisted it yesterday.
What do you mean it was unlisted?
It was an unlisted stream until they listed it, until they put it up after the event, 24 hours after the event. So it wasn't you had to have the link to get to the.
No, not when it aired. Not when it aired live.
When it aired live, it sat there and it said unlisted. I was sitting there with it because I was given it before the show went live, and it was sitting there unlisted.
Not for international viewers. No,
yes,
no.
For international, because that's because I am international.
Maybe for Canada. It wasn't like that in Spain or other international markets.
Yes, because they linked it, but if you clicked that link ahead of time, it brought you to an unlisted link that you had to have.
But that doesn't mean it wasn't unlisted everywhere, because I know for certain Luis Polito put the link in our chat and was like, hey, you guys can watch it live. That link was not unlisted. I promise you. Now, that link was not unlisted.
Having the link and posting the link doesn't mean you can't see the video. It just means it's not going to show up on their live tab.
It was on their live tab.
It's the same thing with AEW.
On the WWE Spain Espanol page, whatever, that was on their live tab and everything.
It was unlisted in the UK socials. It was unlisted on US too, and that's where I was watching. And then
it was on Peacock and NBC. They wanted you to show it that way.
The point being, it wasn't always easy to find it. Canada, it wasn't easy to find it. You had to go
Okay.
find like WWE Australia and find out on their Twitter what the stupid link was.
Okay, but you would have, even if it wasn't easy to find it and you missed it live, your argument is they're going to get viewership online. Like, oh, they're showing people to watch it online. That it's still the same argument. Those people who maybe couldn't see it live because it was unlisted and they found the clip afterwards online, they still saw it online. My argument, factual argument, actual argument, is that they could have done this on television, gotten more people talking about it, and rewarded the television viewers. You don't have an argument against that.
About whether or not they rewarded television viewers?
Yeah, they didn't.
Why do they need to be rewarded for watching a 2-hour show that they were already going to watch?
Okay.
People were already hyped on this.
Now we're just.
Why do they need a hot angle why do they need that? If they're already watching and they saw the 5 really
But they
good
did
matches.
the angle, Joel. They
Yeah,
did
they
it
did
regardless. It's not like it was like, oh, they just ended the show with Cody and that was that. The show ended. And it's like, oh, yeah, why reward the television viewers? They did it. They could have just aired it on television. You were saying, why reward the television viewers? Why reward them? Instead, reward the live viewers, the house show viewers, and the social viewers. You're still rewarding them. They're still going to see it. They still get it. You were just basically saying, yeah, the television viewers, fuck them. That's what you're saying.
It's not what I'm saying.
You just said, why reward them?
I'm asking the question, why reward them? I'm not saying, oh, why reward them? I'm saying, why reward them? They're there, they're watching. They got the show. They got everything part of the show. The cliffhanger came after the show. And now they're going to watch again on Monday. And then maybe again on Friday. Hell,
maybe they're not. Maybe they're not going to watch it because they're like, that show was pretty mediocre.
This is what turns them off to that degree. I have a promotion that just ran Atlanta that I can give you reason to stop watching. That I can do.
Why reward the television viewers?
They did. They rewarded them. They got a new champion. They got all the nostalgia. They got the ring ropes, and they got the referees, and they got the fucking old timey legends, and they got the belt, and they got all the things.
You are purposefully saying why reward the television viewers?
Because most of those television viewers are turning to their socials after the fact anyway. Like they're gonna find
maybe
it.
Maybe they're not, but
maybe they're gonna find it later. Maybe they're gonna find it after the fact. Maybe they're gonna find it the next day so that the news cycle and the conversation can continue, and they can carry them to Monday, which is when they're going to talk.
Why reward the television viewers?
No, this man said.
What's next on the list?
This man said there was a lot to give the television viewers that they got. They got new champions. They got all the nostalgia. They got all the legends.
They got one new champion. Let's not say new champions. One new champion.
Oh, they got a new championship belt in front of them. Couldn't give Cody the original. They had to give him the replica, but whatever. They got what they got. Yeah. I'm not like people are saying I'm being ridiculous. I'm sorry that a social program, not social program, but a social oh my God, why do words suddenly want to escape me now? A social framework is a bad thing. But the fact that they're utilizing their social network, they have a content calendar.
Guys,
this content calendar.
Guys, you know what we're gonna do? I'm gonna
Don't put it to a public vote. Okay. Good.
I'm gonna fire Joel, but I'm not doing it on this show. I'm just gonna do it offline. Because you people who are watching this and have stuck with us, I'm not gonna reward you. Thanks for watching this whole 2-hour show and this whole back and forth we've had. Make sure you're watching our socials afterwards where I fire Joel.
I mean, that's effectively where we are now. So what does it matter? It's like when Kate used to do her post-show scrum gimmick on the socials. It's the same thing.
What's next?
Hit a couple super chats. I still like you most of the time. Sean Garner saying, "Will Michi never become champion in WWE?" Come forward in your chair. Those cards are going to hit you. You can't be.
Where's my mana? I need my fucking mana for this show.
Now he needs it.
Yeah.
He's sadness juice.
I need it.
Bring me daddy's sad juice. I have feelings. Sean Garner asking, "Will Michi never become a champion in WWE?" Do you need to be a champion in WWE? And then let's
mana.
It was given to you. No way. It's not here. All right. Will Michi never be a champion in WWE? Your thoughts? Wow, Jeremy Lambert.
And here we go.
Jesus Christ.
Because this is how much Joel has fucking not rewarded us today. But we're going to reward.
I gave you screaming. I gave you yelling. I gave you entertainment. And now your internet's dead. That's fantastic.
There we go.
Now you're back.
And here we go. Fucking drinking at 10:44.
You don't need to. You have made this decision.
You know what?
He's doing it off air. Fantastic. Come back.
I'm not going to reward the viewers with me drinking mana. I'm not going to reward you. No one needed to see that. You can either believe that I drank or didn't believe. Tune in to my socials. Actually,
you're going to record it for you're going to get so many views out of that. Let me tell you, 4.4 million impressions coming your way. I can't. Oh, is he filming himself drinking? Who knows? Who knows what he's doing? Oh my goodness. Oh, by the way, I think Jason was asking about Saturday night's main event moving forward with Netflix. I think because the Sportsnet stuff is like gonna be over. I think, and don't quote me on it, I think because all shows are moving to Netflix internationally, especially Canada specifically, other countries too, that Saturday night's main event is either, well, it should be moving over with it over to Netflix, or then we're just gonna have to find live unlisted links moving forward, which is not hard. At least not hard for us in the bubble. Is Jeremy drinking? Check his socials to find out. See, call me obtuse. I still appreciate you. I'm not being obtuse. You're being obtuse. Do you want to answer the question about Michin, or are you just going to go over that?
Go on my Twitter. Actually, you know what? This is going to be a blue sky.
Yeah, I was going to say, don't put it on Twitter. Put it on... Reward the viewers, Jeremy.
This is going to be on Blue Sky exclusive.
Yeah, reward your viewers, Jeremy Lambert.
Yeah, I got to delete it off of Twitter. It's going to take forever. Delete post.
Oh, the dorks. The dorks are going to be like, why is he drinking at work? At Sean Ross Sapp, you have to fire him. He's drinking at work.
Sean smoked on work.
That is true. Oh, and it wasn't nearly as frustrating of a conversation as this one.
Forgot my Blue Sky password because my account got hacked.
I saw people were messaging me about that.
They were messaging you?
Yeah, they were like, someone in our Discord messaged me, just being like, "Hey, I just want to make sure that Jeremy knows he's reposting things that doesn't seem like he'd be reposting." Yeah. And I went and I checked it, and I was like, "Oh, he's already remedied that. It's fine." It's very funny. I was like, "Oh, he's good."
Yeah, Kate messaged me and was like, "I think your Blue Sky got hacked." I'm like, "Huh?" She's like, "Yeah, or like, congratulations on the OnlyFans deal." I was like, "Yeah, I didn't get that." So
maybe you were just having a mood. That's all. Yeah. Some people say things when they're.
I'm very happily married and don't need that type of content on my account.
Too much Terramana is what we're trying to say here.
I'm rewarding my Blue Sky viewers, not ITW viewers. You do not deserve to be rewarded.
That's right. But now they're seeing it here, so clearly it's just going to be.
Well, I'm driving people to my blue sky.
It's the fact that we've got the different fonts that makes this rule so much.
Can I not add a video? What the fuck?
Yeah, you can. Sometimes it's like you need to either change.
I gotta click video. That's the
yeah. I was gonna say sometimes it's you got to have a different output, but you're on your phone, so it should be okay.
All right.
Everyone
go to my blue sky to see if I actually drank or not.
Allegedly.
I'm gonna put this cap back on. All right. What are we talking about?
Michin, is she ever gonna wear a championship?
I mean, now that they got this mid-card title, they're gonna have an intercontinental title. They got the women's tag team title. It's like Michin's probably gonna win one at some point.
I agree. And again, there have been wrestlers who have had incredible careers without winning major singles titles, right? And also she's won titles before, just not in WWE.
I mentioned she won an Impact.
Yeah, she is a former Knockouts champion. Good old Jade. Not Cargill. Jade was her Impact name. But yeah, man, Mia Yim is fantastic. She's getting on TV weekly. I don't know if that's really bugging her that she's not winning a title. She's having great matches. She's proving that she is a valuable asset to that company. I know a lot of people who want to see her succeed in the form of holding a title. It could happen. I'm just not sitting and being like, it's got to happen. It's so important that it happens. Chelsea Green is a story of someone who came in, found a gimmick, absolutely crushed it and continues to crush it, and also makes herself available and does the extra stuff. And it's not a knock at anyone. Don't get it twisted. But when she's out here doing these stupidly funny TikToks and gimmicked up videos, that gets people noticed, and that gets people on other people's radars that they're committing to the bit in and out of the squared circle. That is not such a weird thing to say, in and out of the ring. And we want to reward that because they're also showing that they can wrestle and they can live the gimmick, so to speak. I thought it was a good idea to put her as the inaugural U.S. Women's Champion.
Yeah. I thought Bayley was going to win just because that was my expectation. I wasn't trying to get my hopes too high of they're actually going to put the title on Chelsea or Michin, and because it's something new for that. Bayley doesn't need it. We know Bayley doesn't need it, but I was just trying to set my expectations relatively low of not that Bayley, there's anything wrong with Bayley. Bayley would be a great first champion, but Bayley's held every title you need to hold. We know what we're getting with Bayley. She's very stable, very stable for the division. Chelsea Green is something different. Michin, something different. So I'm glad that was the final. I'm glad they went with Chelsea. Actually, completely. I think that's a good use of the title. I don't want it to become, because Chelsea has become such a jokey kind of wrestler. And just she has fun. She's not the I don't want to say not the workhorse wrestler, but she's not as known for the in-ring stuff, right? Chelsea is she's gimmicky, and she's fantastic at it. She rolls at it, actually. So I think that's why people were worried that maybe Bayley was going to win, and let's not turn the title immediately into a gimmicky kind of title. And I don't think it's going to be that. I think Chelsea will be kind of a workhorse in her own way with the title. At least I hope so.
There's also something to say about giving. I know that there was a conversation about the first champion setting the tone for the prestige of the title or the importance of the title. Sometimes you don't need it to be your one of your number one stars winning a mid-card title to establish it. Sometimes the establishment of the title comes from the lineage. That's not to say Chelsea Green should or shouldn't hold the title for a long amount of time, but it is also what you do with that title and how you present it on the television shows or on socials. Do a few matches on Speed, so it's not going to be on Speed. But the point is,
you have a whole title for that.
That's true, and it's very well there. But the point with the U.S. Women's Championship is that It can be a mid-card title, which is how it's supposed to be. And you can have women who are former women's champions come to the mid-card title to challenge and boost the stock of the title and the champion at the same time. It's kind of the point of this title too, is that you're trying to make a US championship as a mid-card title that makes you available to challenge for a world title after you've established yourself with it. I'm not necessarily here being like Chelsea's going to challenge for the women's championship next month, but like there is a world where she could be a challenger of the month for a women's championship. Are people going to say, oh, she's gonna win? Not necessarily, but they're going to say it more after a good run with the US championship than they would have without. And it's not just going to be because Piper's by her side. You know what I'm trying to say? She's going to be boosted with the title as long as she is given the opportunity to shine with it.
So this is something we talked about before the title was introduced. You can just do stories without the title. I mean, Michin and Chelsea had a good story without the title. That led to the dumpster match. That potentially led to them realizing, oh, hey, like maybe we should do a women's mid-card title. If you just continue to do stories but the title is involved, great. If you just treat the title as like, oh, we kind of need to do a challenger here and that's it, let's just do a match for the sake of doing a match, that's not good. Just keep doing good stories. And then the title is involved, which is cool. Don't treat it as an afterthought like they did for so long with the women's tag team titles of, oh yeah, we kind of got these titles. We just kind of need a match for this show. We can just make it a title match and make it seem important, but it's not really that important. Don't do that. Actually put some thought and some care and some stories into this title. If you do that, then cool, the title will be enhanced. If you just do, hey, we need a title match, here's Chelsea against Isla Dawn because we need a title match for SmackDown, that doesn't excite anybody.
And then meanwhile, on the other side of things, the Women's Intercontinental Championship. It seems like we're going to a similar, I can speak, I promise, situation where right now, the semis, you've got Dakota Kai and TBD on one end. You've got Lyra Valkyria and TBD on the other end. And then those two are going to face off in the final. And if the final...
You think it's going to be them?
I'm pretty close to saying yes, because they showed those videos back to back that one week, and they put the emphasis on Dakota Kai and Lyra. I think Natalya and Lyra is a good match to do for the semis. And then on the other hand, like you could do either there's a reason to do Zoe Stark and Dakota Kai. On the other side, there is a storyline reason. Raquel Rodriguez is there, Kaden Carter is the other one. I wouldn't mind Raquel and Dakota, and then you'd have Dakota win and do Lyra and Dakota. If Lyra wins, a lot of people are talking about the idea of Becky Lynch challenging for that title, and that's a pretty good first challenger. Do you let Lyra beat Becky? Is that worth the ascent? Is it going to cause some sort of movement for Lyra? I know she's popular. I think putting her with the TikTokers, well, not TikTokers, sorry, the dancing ravers was not the best thing they could have done. But now that Becky is allegedly going to come back into the fold, does she go after the Intercontinental Women's Championship, or does she go after Rhea Ripley, Liv Morgan, the Women's World Championship?
You ain't putting Becky in this Intercontinental title stuff. You need something
later.
Yeah, maybe later, but like you need something for this Women's World Title feud. Liv and Rhea's got to end. Like you gotta make up your mind on who's coming out of that feud and then be done with it. And then Becky goes, I would say after Liv. I think Liv should win the feud. And she actually establishes herself as a good champion. Because the match against Io was good. She's just been so caught up in this Rhea stuff for so long that like it's just can we move past it? Look, Rhea still gets big reactions too. So this isn't even a knock on like Rhea. Like Rhea deserves a top spot. But we've done this feud for almost a year, it feels like. I know Becky was involved in the WrestleMania stuff, but it feels like Liv, basically since after WrestleMania, it's been Liv and Rhea. It's been going on for so long. I know injuries have kind of derailed things. You just gotta have a winner out of it, make up your mind, move forward. And yeah, Becky should be right back in there because it makes sense to her being against Liv too, because that's where she ended. Liv is claiming she's retired Becky and everything. So it makes sense that that's the feud to do coming out of Rhea and Liv with the title.
Yeah, no, I'm fine with that. I'm just like when you said it, I remembered that yes, Liv and Becky was kind of Becky's goodbye. The Dom Mysterio stuff, right? We talked about it on this show. The whole, if you think that my last image on Raw was, or my last image on WWE is getting, taken out by Dom Mysterio, you got another thing coming. I'm gonna cough 1 sec.
But they should only put the Becky and Liv feud on socials, because that's where they should do like media matches, because that's where Liv has been bragging about.
Yes.
Retiring Becky. She hasn't really mentioned it that much on television. So we're not worried about the television viewers. They should do like an interview with us and have a match on our YouTube page.
Listen, yes, absolutely. You get it now. This is what I'm trying to say. You got to have, listen, the TNA Digital Media Championship, I've been saying it since day one.
Who the fuck holds that title?
PCO. But the point of all this, he's got the dual championships. He's got a defunct Quebecois International Heavyweight Championship and the Digital Media. Quebecois, yeah, from Quebec. The Lutte Internationale World Heavyweight Championship. World Heavyweight Wrestling Championship. It's a mouth.
You're cursing at me.
I wish I was, but it's not in this case. Yeah,
Cam Morgan's in the chat. Happy belated birthday, Ken.
Can confirm. But yeah, the
Quebecois.
The point I was trying to make was that with PCO being the digital media champion, any digital media champion in TNA had that opportunity to like do digital media things. I used to joke that whoever was digital media champion should do a bit where they like have matches on socials, or their match that they're taping for TV, they take a phone, they put it on the turnbuckle and like they film the match for whatever, for a vlog, some stupid digital media thing to commit to the bit. But instead TNA's bit is the digital media champion will do nothing on social media.
Yeah. I think you can do a lot with that kind of stuff, and like companies care about it for a month and then they don't care anymore. Which is a little disappointing, because like I think for digital media, like you can do some fun stuff with it, and like Cardona tried, and then it just didn't do anything. And then AJ,
AJ did a good job with it. AJ Francis, so and Joe Hendry and that whole gimmicks, like it works.
It's like the 24/7 title as well. It's like, oh, you can do like cool stuff with this. And R-Truth and Drake Maverick obviously really tried with that, and then once they weren't part of it anymore, it's like, do we really care at this point? And it is tough to maintain something like that, because literally like digital media or 24/7, it can be a 24/7 thing, and trying to do that kind of shit every single day can be very taxing. So I understand why they give up after like a week or two, but I think you can have a lot of fun with that kind of stuff. It's just, you got to really commit to having that kind of fun and wanting to do it. And at some point you're just like, yeah, I don't really feel like doing this anymore.
Someone asking why the Digital Media Championship was introduced, because they needed an excuse to have a low card championship. Because at the time, Impact had the X Division, the World, the Knockouts, and the Tag Team, and they didn't have anything lower to fight for. So they called it the Digital Media title. Cardona got it. Jordan Grace got it. I thought with Jordan
Grace held that thing?
I think she's the inaugural champion.
No, she wasn't.
I'm pretty sure she was the inaugural Digital Media champion. Digital Media Championship.
You looking this up as well?
Yeah.
Jordan Grace didn't hold this fucking title.
I'm pretty sure she was the inaugural champion. She wanted it Bound for Glory in 2021.
That's not a real thing.
And then Cardona, and then Rich Swann. And my joke was they're going to give it to the guy who does not have socials.
Chelsea Green should have been the inaugural champion, honestly. Looking at the people in this match, but she should have won this damn title.
But the joke with Jordan Grace was that at the time, like, her OnlyFans was a big thing. And we said, like, she should be having matches on her OnlyFans. Not those
Jonathan Gresham.
People literally cook food on OnlyFans. It's not just for that, Jeremy. Don't be so obtuse is what people were telling me. But the point is, like, you could have done stuff like that, but they didn't, and that wasn't what they wanted. And also that's a paywall situation. But like the joke became Jordan should be doing stuff there. And like someone asking, why didn't they call it the TNA TV title? Because I think they saw digital media was a more forward thinking approach to naming their championship. And then they gave it to people who don't have much social media, work.
Sounds terrible.
But AJ France,
Laredo Kid held this title. What the
Laredo
fuck
Kid
is
held it
TNA?
as a stopgap. This was at a time when everyone was clowning on TNA because people started really catching on that if you're a luchador in TNA, you don't win. And it still connects to this day. So they gave Laredo Kid that title so that AJ Francis could beat him on Impact 20, the 20th anniversary show.
This title does not actually exist.
Well, I mean, if you ask PCO, it's, one of 2 titles around his waist. Stupid.
This title doesn't exist. I don't believe it.
Although allegedly PCO got injured at the taping. So we'll see. He's got a month off.
PCO doesn't get injured.
He got carried out or helped out. So again, they got a month until Genesis. We'll talk a little TNA later.
Will we?
Yeah, just to because people want to talk about. By the way, shout out. There was someone
drinking during that segment. Everybody tune in.
There was someone on Grapsity that did send a Humber chat and gave me props for the TNA talk from Friday and Tessa stuff. Thank you. I do appreciate it when people understand.
Watch our show.
Watch our show, but also give a shit about our thoughts and know that we approach it as we want things to be better, not taken away. We got a couple super chats. Let's hit those. Chi-Town Spurs says the existence of Stephen Flo means that there needs to be a Jeremy Spokane and they need to win the tag titles. I'm all for it.
I'm for it. I can pull off that gimmick. We need Stephen Flo on this show. How do we do this?
Oh, well, apparently the guys over at Love Wrestling seem to know who he is, or at least they're aware of him.
Okay.
So maybe we can go
make this happen, Spencer.
Yeah, let's get Spencer.
You're Canadian, Joel. Just make this happen.
I am. I mean, this guy's from Chicago, so I'm sure even our pal Val. Maybe they can help us.
Oh, you think Val can hook us up?
Yeah, maybe Val can help us.
Okay, we'll talk about this after the show. We'll get Stephen Flo on the show. I feel Spencer or whoever is running the Love Wrestling says they're on it. Okay.
Oh, perfect.
We're gonna Stephen Flo.
But I'll just message Val in the middle of this show because she did the same thing to me on Friday, and I was like, I was like, no, it's fine. You're good. Don't worry about it. Love you, Val. You're the best. Absolutely. And then Chi-Town Spurs saying so they were mediocre on purpose again. I'm gonna repurpose this super chat.
Yes, Chi-Town Spurs. You get it.
Shut up. We're gonna talk about Gunter because he's not mediocre anymore. He's got his mojo back. He's confident again.
That was a good match. That was really good.
The finish with the saving Damian Priest from the steel stair spot. I was watching that live on the watch along, and I was.
You guys were so ahead of my feed.
So people know how I watch things live on YouTube. There is a trick to it. If you go and you want to get as close to live as possible. Yeah, you go and you boost the speed to whatever the full amount. It catches you up, and then you're pretty close. I was at that point.
I was on Peacock on Roku, and we have kind of an outdated Roku anyway, so it's not going to be super special. But the wife was also watching, and she was like, "Yeah, I had to turn off muted the holiday stream because I didn't want the Chelsea Green match spoiled for me." Because you guys are so ahead of me, which was fine. I was working. I don't care if she gets spoiled as I'm working. I tell people all the time. I tell people who know shit all the time. I don't want to tell it. I don't want to be a scoopster. I don't want to know anything as far as oh, look at me. I'm so smart. I know this stuff. I want to be ahead at work. Please tell me who's going to win. Please tell me who's going to return so I can just be ahead at work. I'm not going to tell anybody. I'm not going to go on my Twitter and brag that, oh, I knew about this. I'll drop little hints on this show because I like to reward our viewing audience, unlike Joel. But I don't like to, I don't like to go on Twitter and be like, oh, I knew this was going to happen. That doesn't service me. I don't care. I don't care to be a scoopster. What I do care about is being ahead in articles. If I can get an article up a minute after the return happens or a minute after a title change because I knew it was going to happen, cool. Then I can move on to the next thing. Because at work, you're either behind or you're caught up and you're still behind.
I thought you were going to say you're the first or your last. Or, the Ricky.
No, I don't want to be first. It's It's legitimate not even be like a first thing of like, oh,
No,
look, I was the first person to post this art. Because no one gives a shit about that. Like, no one
Right.
cares if you're
People are
the
gonna
first
find
person
it.
to post.
Yeah, they're gonna find it anyway.
Yeah, no one cares about that. It's like, oh, well, I'm done with this. Now I can do something else. Like, I like to continuously work. It's very bad.
Starting to
Good.
think you're addicted to workahol.
It's not that I'm addicted to working. It's that, like, I don't want to sound too braggadocious, but like, I know I'm really good at what I do, right? Like, you know what I mean? Like,
I put you over to countless people on and off the air. I think we know.
Like, I know I'm good at it, and I like to just be ahead, and I like to do a lot. Like, if I don't do a certain number of posts a day, it's not like I feel like I have to hit a quota or anything, but I am like, oh man, I didn't do a whole lot today. I felt like I could have done more. Like, I'd like to, I know I'm good at working, and I like to work. Like, the job, for the most part, some of it gets tedious and stupid, but for the most part, like, look, I'm so humble. My apple pie is the most crumblest, and I'm the most humblest. You know, it's a good song, by the way. Everybody should listen to "I'm So Humble" by, I guess, Connor. Technically, Connor for real, and Adam Levine. You ever seen that movie, Joel? Pop star.
I was gonna
Never
say
stop stopping.
Yeah. I've seen bits and pieces. I need to watch the whole thing. Maybe if they put it on socials as an exclusive, I'll watch it.
That song rules. That's a legitimate banger, by the way. Legitimate banger. Like, I just like to be ahead at work. That's all. That's all it is.
Never
What
gonna
are we
let you
talking
live this down.
Joel was fucking on one this morning, right, everybody?
I didn't
Can
sleep.
you
well
believe
last
this
night.
guy?
Jesus Christ. I did not sleep well last night.
Can you
Now,
believe this guy?
Tonight I'm gonna roll into Wednesday's show, be like, I slept like a baby last night.
Joel over here just telling, yeah, the television viewers don't matter.
They suck. No one pays attention to TV. So Gunter, we're talking about Gunter. He retains the title, and then later on in the show, in an exclusive backstage segment that was only for socials, says he's got his confidence back. Who's next for Gunter?
I just sent you a message, by the way.
I'm scared. Did you DM me or did you text me?
No, it's in the private chat. It's in the private chat.
Oh, so I see it here.
Yeah.
Even better.
Not even gonna lie.
Oh,
what were we talking about?
Gunter. Who's next for Gunter? He's very confident now. He's got his groove back.
I don't know. Like, I feel like he's got to beat Priest one-on-one, right? Like, that feels like it's next. That feels like the Rumble match to me. That feels like the Rumble match. That's all I can predict.
You think who in Gunter?
Priest.
Okay, yeah.
They can do one-on-one. Yeah.
Yeah, because he pinned Balor.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah, you could do that, and it's an easy match to do. The I don't know, man. I'm still on the when do they do Goldberg, and I feel like this whole regaining my confidence thing. I feel like it's going to Goldberg, and I don't think it's now. I don't think it's the Rumble, but like I don't know. Part of me is still on the Elimination Chamber. John Cena wins the Elimination Chamber. Goldberg and Gunter have a match at Skydome.
Goldberg's last match gonna be in Toronto.
He has the history. We've talked about it. He made his big return when he did the Brock match at Survivor Series in 2016.
Right.
He's got a pretty good history in Toronto when it's not the first run.
Okay.
Remember WCW Mayhem 1999? Great history there.
WCW Mayhem. Remember we played that shit on stream? That was like an actual like halfway decent game.
That's true.
I mean, it's not great, but it was much better than I thought it was.
Remember Backstage Assault? That one sucked.
These games weren't good, but they were actually better in hindsight. Like they're kind of fun. I need to get the new TEW game, but I was waiting for. I'm just going off on tangent here. I don't care at this point. I need to get the new TEW game, but like I need the mods to be better because I don't like using the Cornell verse or whatever. Someone super chat us $35 to pay for a TEW. My TEW habits.
Oh man, can you fix your? It's doing the beepy thing again.
Oh,
it's usually your headphones.
Worse.
No change.
I'll unplug my headphones.
Yeah, do that. It's always the headphones.
Do you echo when you say something right there?
No, you're good.
Okay.
Oh, you're perfect now. You're golden. You're good.
Is that better?
Yeah. You're good. Perfect. Like legitimately, you're good. I hear nothing now. It's perfect.
Will I stream it if you buy me TEW. You know what? Fuck it. I will. I don't know when. I don't know how.
It'll be
I don't know
Christmas
what.
Day. We're not doing a show on Christmas Day, so you can sit
Yeah,
here.
you're a coward not doing a show Christmas Day.
No. Someone said I thought we love wrestling. I thought we were streaming from a hospital today.
Oh, my bad.
Some
My
days.
bad, everybody. My bad.
Some days our bedroom is dead, but hey, not today. Goldberg beats Sid
after the show.
Goldberg beats Sid in an I Quit match at Mayhem 99.
Oh, hell yeah.
5 minutes and 30 seconds.
All right.
It was the match before the main event. So Goldberg has a pretty good history in Toronto. I could see that being the match. And also, again, they got to fill that dome. And I know Triple H is like, oh, it's the road to WrestleMania. We can fill anything at that point because it's the high season. So people want to go.
In case you've been living under a rock.
So on our way to Las Vegas, we're going to make this big. I could just see it being Goldberg early in the year, get it over with. Or maybe it's a SummerSlam thing. I don't know. But they got to fill the Sky Dome. And John Cena is a big way to do it. But there are other people who want to watch other matches. And we'll see. But I think that's Elimination Chamber.
Okay, we'll see.
And it's an easy match to do. Like, it's not a long match. There are bigger matches on the card. So that's just kind of where I'm at. People are saying, it's a whole lot of sense. Damn right. This show is all about making sense.
Not this show.
Not this one.
No.
Oh man. Anything else from Saturday night's main event we need to touch on? I mean, we can talk about every match, but like we
don't need to go match by match.
No, there's plenty of stuff from that. Yeah. Ryan Sullivan saying doing this as a two-parter due to YouTube.
Ryan Sullivan fucking rules, by the way. Can we just put that out there?
He does. Thank you, pal. I'm sure there's another one that's about to happen.
Ryan Sullivan's just the best.
He is fantastic. Gives you gummy clusters, owes me a bunch of Reese's cups. Oh, there we go. Get that game.
I'm going to stream TEW. I don't know when, but I will stream it. I promise.
Christmas Day. You don't have to
allegedly spend time with family on Christmas.
Yes, you should do that.
Maybe I'll have them book this show. Be like, hey, kids, who do you think should win this match?
You should invite Tony on the show. Let him book TEW with you.
Can you imagine if Tony Khan was on here booking TEW? I mean, that's how he books it in his head anyway. So
I watched Collision on Saturday night. We had to do at least one conglomeration and Premier Athletes mix up. So we just added Commander and MXM.
Let me complain about Collision for a second.
Okay. There were, by the way, we're not going to completely shit on Collision because there was actually some really good stuff too.
It was a good show.
But this is one match where this is one match where I was like, what are we doing?
The 10-man tag. I don't care about that. That was whatever. That was just a match on Collision. Here's my complaint about Collision. Darby Allin, and they showed this as like, oh, this was from Wednesday. Winter is coming. Darby Allin's backstage, and he's like, oh, the Rough Riders. Stop, drop, shut them down, open up, kidnap FTR. So they're talking about, or Darby's like, they're running roughshod over AEW and everything. And Will Ospreay's like, hey, bruv, I got your back, but only after the Continental Classic. I got to build some momentum. I'm like, this is stupid. I like that Will Ospreay is at least like acknowledging this, but Darby is, this is bigger than the Continental Classic. Like, look what they're doing. One, Darby's in the Continental Classic, right? Like, if you think this is much bigger than this, then drop out of the Continental Classic. I feel like you can submit paperwork to get out of the Continental Classic. Two, here was my real big issue with this. Darby on Wednesday does this big promo of like the Continental Classic is what AEW is all about. This is what makes AEW great, the competition. And then in this little digital exclusive backstage that also aired on television because other companies are allowed to do this, not WWE just doesn't put stuff on television and socials.
They're going to put it on Monday. I promise you it'll be on Raw tonight.
Darby's like, this is bigger than the guy. Like, you were just praising this tournament. You're part of this tournament. Like, don't tell me that it's like, oh, this is bigger than this. We got to stop the Death Riders from doing this. Like, don't worry about the Continental Classic. Like, you just praised this. You're part of this. It was just disconnect to me. I like that they finally, like Will Ospreay, who should be like part of this and part of like acknowledging the Death Riders and realizing, hey, this is kind of a big deal. I like that Will Ospreay like finally exerted himself into this. They got something with Darby, and they know they got something with Darby. It just feels like they don't know how to fully present Darby. And that's like when they figure that out, and maybe they can't figure that out because he's going to climb Everest in April. Like when they figure that out, it's like, oh, okay. We know we've got this with Darby. But yeah, it just felt disconnected on Wednesday. He's like, the Continental Classic is what AEW is all about. The competition, bring your win-loss record, like the spirit of like fighting for the company, even though there's a title on the line. But then on Saturday, it's don't worry about the Continental Classic. The Death Riders, this is bigger. We got to stop them. I did like the line of like, if the Death Riders take over, there is no Continental Classic. I did like that. That connected it a little bit. I felt they could have done a little bit more. Or just don't air that Darby video package on Wednesday. Then I'm like, okay. But he's still part of it, you know? Like him being like, yeah, it's not too much about the Continental Classic, but like you're part of the Continental Classic. So like it kind of is about the Continental Classic. Go ahead.
So I agree with you. First of all, I really liked that open. I like that segment. The things you said, like Ospreay admitting the Death Riders is a big deal, but also saying like, I need to get back on track. I need to do this for myself. Maybe it's his confidence, and then I'll join in because I'll be a better version of myself. For Ospreay, it's a regaining of confidence, and then he can jump in. He said, I'll be in the foxhole with you after this. Because Ospreay's whole deal, as much as he is white meat babyface, is he's still here to win a title. He's still here to be the guy. He's still here to be the standout performer in AEW. Darby doesn't care about that as much. Titles don't mean that much to him at this moment. He's doing this for right. He's doing this to be, for the defense of AEW. And as much as I don't like the baby facing of the company, if one person is doing it, just one, I can handle that. That's what Tommy Dreamer used to do in ECW. No one else was doing that for ECW. It was just Tommy. And that's because Tommy was heart and soul. If Darby's going to be that person, no one else can be that person in AEW. No more FTR baby facing the company. No more Orange Cassidy. Well, they kidnapped them so that they could beat the AEW out of them. But like the point being, if you're going to do it, it's got to be one person only, and that's it. Because otherwise it just feels like you're piling on the same rhetoric, and it's that gets annoying. So I'm okay with them kind of drawing the line of who these characters are. Darby and Ospreay also have a match this Wednesday, right? At Holiday Bash. That's their Continental Classic match. This match, there might be either something that forwards that conversation. Maybe it forces Ospreay's hand. Maybe it's just a moment. And like after the match, Death Riders come out, beat up both men, or go after both men. I don't know. Someone in the chat had mentioned, Darby wanted to be in the Continental Classic to fight Claudio. He could have asked for a one-on-one match to get through.
He got his ass kicked by Claudio already.
He did. So now he's got to figure out a way to make all that make sense again. I hear you. So that's kind of like, I hope they come around to that. I don't know if they will, because they don't always tie up that loose end. But the idea here is that Darby is heart and soul. Ospreay is, I am the guy here, but I'm also a good guy here. So I'm on your side, but I'm not here just because I love this place. I'm here because I want to represent this place. I want to be the champion of this place. There's room for both those men to exist. And they're kind of, it felt to me, trying to start telling that story. And they have time because, like you mentioned, if Darby's climbing Mount Everest and that is a multiple month excursion for him, they really have to figure out a way to tell the story around Darby being absent while still making this world title program, because that's what it is, a big deal on TV. And Ospreay is going to have to be one of those people to carry the weight as Darby's away, assuming this all culminates with Darby Allin, who is the guy baby facing the company, taking it back home for the company. Because again, if that's the story, they got a lot of time to kill because of the Darby Everest stuff.
I don't know if this is good. I don't know if people like this. I don't know if I like this. I'd have the Death Riders interfere in Ospreay and Darby. I know it's, everybody's banned from ringside and blah, blah, blah. I think they should come out there and kick the shit out of Darby and Ospreay and be like, I give a fuck about your rules. I don't give a fuck about your Continental Classic. We're going to beat the shit out of both of these guys. I don't know if people would fully love that. I don't even know if I fully love that. I'm just throwing it out there as like, you want to like say, hey, there's no Continental Classic. Because Darby said that. He's like, there might not be a Continental Classic if they have their way. Have them come out there and beat up both guys and be like, yeah, you know what? There is no Continental Classic with us. We have our way. We're done with this shit. We don't care about your dumb wrestling matches. We care about what's best for what we think is best for our vision of things. And you're not part of our vision. Claudio is part of our vision. I don't know if I love it. I don't think fans would fully love it. I think it'd be something different. I think it would put a lot of good heat. I do think, as much as I don't know if I fully love it, I think it put a lot of good heat on the Death Riders. And people would be like, and look, just book the rematch. You know, just book the rematch and do it and be like, you know what? The Death Riders robbed us of this one. We'll do a rematch at a later time. Like, we'll still give the fans this match. Finally, Tony Khan is actually like, hey, I'll be a boss. And television-wise,
Do it at Hammerstein.
Do it at Hammerstein. There you go.
It's a big
but
match.
Like, you could book a rematch. But I think it would be something if the Death Riders, who are so, oh, we're taking AEW over and we're going to do it in our vision, if they actually do something like this and they're like, yeah, this Continental Classic, our guy's part of it, it would make sense too, because in their mind, they're like, okay, well, they each get 1 point instead of somebody getting 3 points. This benefits Claudio. So it would make sense in their mind to do it like that as well. I don't think it's going to happen. I think it's more likely that we get an attack like after the match. But I do think like them attacking during the match and basically forcing the hand of Christopher Daniels or Tony Khan, whoever is, you know, in charge for the week, being like, oh, we got to make a decision here on like what we're going to do. Because we haven't seen the interference. It's been, oh, everybody's banned from ringside, no interference. And nobody's really tried to break that. So them would make sense to break that.
I mean, Darby kind of did when he showed up at the end of that one match with Claudio. It was after the match. But the thing is, like, I like what you're saying. I like the idea. And some people are saying, would it undermine the tournaments? That's what they should be doing. That's what Death Riders in story.
Yeah, that's kind of the point.
And the idea here, though, is what happens afterwards. Because if the Continental Classic bars you from ringside and you break that rule, again, last year it was, you're fired. So what do you do this time? If you haven't outright said, if you break the rules, you're fired, what can you do? You can't put Moxley at a disadvantage going into World's End because he's already in a fatal four-way. He put himself at that disadvantage. That was his own, his own call. So what can you do to put them at a disadvantage?
I don't think you need to even put them at a disadvantage. It can just be, let's say it's just Jon Moxley. It's not Pac. It's not Claudio's already in the tournament. It's not Marina. It's not Yuta. It's just Jon Moxley. He comes out there, beats up Darby Allin, beats up Will Ospreay. And then we'll use Christopher Daniels as an example because I don't know if Tony Khan's going to be behind the scenes or whatever. We'll use Christopher Daniels as the example. He's like, the rules stipulate you're going to be fired on this. And then you basically just have like, no, don't fire him. Like, he's got to defend this title. We're going to get this title back. We're going to beat him up. Just book the rematch. We're going to beat him up. And then for the next match, like you book the rematch between Darby and Will Ospreay. You just have like extra security around there. And then, okay, Jon Moxley doesn't come out. Or maybe he does. He comes into the crowd and then the security prevents him. So it shows that it kind of works. Like, escalate it a little bit. Make Jon Moxley, like I've been saying this entire time, and they've done a better job of recently, make it a bigger part of the show instead of just Jon Moxley does his segment and that's it. Like, he should be a little involved in the C2, even though he's not involved in the C2. If it's a company takeover, like, make it a little involved.
I think it's more likely that one by one members of the Death Riders will show up at ringside during this match with Ospreay and Darby. and they'll make their presence known. It'll be a tense, like, what are they going to do? What are they going to do after the match? And then Darby, they finish the match. They either jump the barricade and beat up both men, or Darby and Ospreay have to fight them off, or maybe the guys in the Fatal 4-Way come out and they get involved during the match. Well, you can't do that because then they're getting involved in the match, kind of. Again, this is the problem. They should be there, but also, do you want to try and tell a story about undermining the tournament? What are you going to do?
I would put the story over the tournament.
I would too, but I don't know if
should
people
be
will
bigger.
I agree with that, but I also don't know what you can do after the fact to make it. I know you did, but like, I don't know what is going to work in a it's not getting back. What's the word? As repercussions for their actions. Somebody has to do something. Somebody, like, they can say it and then they could.
They haven't had any repercussions for their actions thus far. Like,
I know this should be the thing where that's the problem, is they are above the law in AEW.
Yeah, the repercussion is we need to unite together and beat them.
No, now we're rah-rahing again.
Well, but you're rah-rahing against Jon Moxley and what he is actually doing. You're not rah-rahing for the company, which that's been a complaint of, like, let's rah-rah for AEW. No, you're rah-rahing against Jon Moxley in this. This isn't for, we got to protect the sanctity of the C2. It's part of it, but why do you need to protect the sanctity of the C2? Oh, because Jon Moxley's a dickhead and interfered in this match. So we're going after Jon Moxley to get to this end goal. I think it makes sense. Like, I don't fully love it. I would understand if fans didn't love it. But you want to tell stories, and this story has gotten better. I will fully admit that. It has got better. But you want to continue to make it a bigger part of the show. This is a way to do it. Because right now the C2 just sort of, it feels like it lives in its bubble. And they've done a little bit better of a job, certainly with the Darby and Ospreay promo this past week. They've done a bit better of a job making the Death Rider and the C2 stuff connect a little bit more. But this really connects it and really shows, oh yeah, Jon Moxley, he is trying to change things or put things in his vision. Because otherwise, Jon Moxley's just letting these matches happen. He's like, yeah, I don't care about this tournament. Like, Claudio's going to win. Okay, cool. But if Darby and Ospreay are basically saying, and they are saying, hey, we got to prevent Jon Moxley. Certainly Darby is. Ospreay's a little bit more concerned about momentum and all that stuff. But Darby is certainly saying, like, no, we got to prevent this guy. Jon Moxley, who should be protective of what he's trying to build, should be like, I don't care about this tournament. No, you're trying to stop me? Absolutely not. I'm going to ruin your shit.
Yeah, I'm curious about what Wednesday brings, if anything.
But they should only put it on socials.
That's right. The whole beatdown should be on socials afterwards. Come on, if you're gonna do it right. Build your brand on social media. That's what you do. Everyone's got a podcast, but not every podcast is successful, Jeremy. Not like ours. Sometimes. I mean, listen, the conversation from Friday did well.
These shorts I keep doing are doing well, which means I gotta like make more of them and be consistent, which is very upsetting because I don't feel like doing that shit.
We'll talk about that in a few minutes. Toni Storm. We got a little bit more from Toni.
Yeah,
the Rampage match came and went. The Rage subsided. And then the Collision match came and went.
I feel like we explained this on Friday's show, thanks to the help from our great chat.
Yes.
She's doing a time cop gimmick.
She is. Shaking hands and everything.
Yeah, it's time cop, time loop. Dorks in my mention trying to explain, well, time cop traveled back in time. It's not in a time loop. It's not like Looper. Shut up. It's however I feel like explaining it. Right. And then people, of course, are like, wow, the copium. Shut up.
Dude, Twitter sucks. I just don't care about that shit.
Trust me, I do not care enough about this Toni Storm gimmick to where I'm going to try to defend this on Twitter. I'm having fun. 99% of my tweets pop me.
Yeah, like it's silly, stupid shit. And it's funny. It's very fun. Toni comes out, wins the match against Shazza McKenzie. Phil Lindsay, by the way, pointed out on Grapsity that like you've got Toni coming back and facing Australian talents, which is like that's how she started in the business. That's because she's an Australian. So for her to come out,
fight a kangaroo.
She should fight a kangaroo. I'm fine with that. Grand Slam, forget Mariah May. It should be Toni Storm versus it should be timeless Toni Storm.
That would draw.
Cocaine
kangaroo. Let's get Michael Kingston to draw this up.
If only we had done this months before they changed the venues, because now the venue's set and it's sold out. It's fine. They could have filled the stadium if they just got a damn cocaine fueled kangaroo.
Are you kidding me? Oh, that would fill the stadium too, 100%.
Sorry, Toni, we messed up. We didn't tell you sooner. We could have done it next year. Anyway, Toni's facing the Australian talent. She got Harley Cameron on Friday. She got Shazza McKenzie for Saturday. And she comes out and takes a microphone and says, "I'm all elite." And everyone just cheers and goes along with the bit and gets confused. But it's afterwards when she's introducing herself to Thunder Rosa and Tony Schiavone that I popped. I loved it. It's so silly. It's so stupid, but it's RJ City. That's what it is. Like anytime you think something silly or stupid is happening in wrestling, RJ City is probably at the crux of it, for better or worse. And that's not a slight at RJ, unless he's making you wait 30 minutes for an interview after a show. That's a different conversation altogether. But this Toni Storm stuff works because it's silly and because it's going to eventually come around to her playing the bit to catch Mariah May off of her guard. And then the story really picks up again. I do think that there's a Thunderstorm match in the future. I mentioned it on Friday and I stand by it. They're going to do it. She introduced herself to Thunder Rosa. She made it very clear that she is going to have some sort of interaction with her leading into the match at World's End or coming out of it.
Well, Sean broke the news that it's a Tijuana street fight at World's End.
Mother
Thunder Rosa and Mariah May.
I've never wanted to book a flight to Kentucky faster in my life to beat someone's ass. It's infuriating. That was levels of me not paying attention to you.
That absolutely ruled.
He just fucking no-sells him up. This is why you can't have people. You can't have every host, like showrunner for these post shows, doing a stream together because we just don't know who's supposed to run points. And then Sean runs point and then gets angry when we're not running the show. Anyway, I broke the news. It was a 2-1 street fight in World's End.
That's where I've gotten out because I don't say anything on those shows. Like, you can't get mad at me. Like, everyone knows the bit by this point. I'm not saying anything.
I'm going to have to steal your bit next year at this rate. Jesus Christ.
It's a good bit, honestly.
It's a good bit. You still get
shows that I don't have to say a word.
Oh,
I was covering 2 shows that night, Joel. I was covering Collision and Saturday night's main event.
Good on you. Very proud of you for that. But anyway,
do it.
They're going to do the Tijuana street fight. It's going to be Thunder Rosa and Mariah May at World's End. We talked about that on Friday. We kind of, I saw it coming and it's good. It'll be fine. Toni Storm will get involved.
Have the Mana for the Tijuana street fight.
The Tijuana?
Tijuana? Oh, Tijuana. I don't know if The Rock's going to, be able to sponsor that though.
That's fine. Yeah, and otherwise there was just C2 stuff from Collision. Okada murdered a bull and Mark Briscoe and
murdered a bull.
Yeah, that's what you do. He maybe castrated the bull, but it's fine.
This doesn't sound healthy.
Yeah, well, it's Okada. He did it. It's Wagyu, so he did it ethically. But other than that, Mark Briscoe over Kyle Fletcher was a great match. I actually really enjoyed that main event. Oh, the faces. I hope you recorded your reaction to that. Did not. What do you think of Fletcher and Briscoe in the main event? I thought that was a really, really solid fight between those two.
It was good. It was the best match of the C2. And
I can go with that. Yeah, I can go with that.
They left some doubt of, because Fletcher's been on a roll and Mark Briscoe, not really like a perennial loser in these tournaments, but you figure he's mainly there to take kind of losses and everything. But they left it until the very end because Briscoe beat him in the final 30 seconds there. So that was good stuff. And Kyle Fletcher can take a loss. He'll be fine taking it because I still think he's probably coming out of the Blue League. But with the semifinals, taking place at World's End as well, it leaves it a little bit more open. But yeah, that was the best match of the C2. I thought Okada and Beast Mortos was good. That one there was a little bit more. Yeah, Okada ain't losing to Beast Mortos. No knock on Beast Mortos, but like he's there to take losses. Where Briscoe, we know Tony loves Mark Briscoe, and even though I figured he was taking this loss, the fact that Fletcher had already won 3, it was like, yeah, Fletcher's got to lose at some point. I don't think he's running the gamut here, so it puts some doubt into, okay, is Kyle Fletcher going to win the league? So I thought both of the Continental Classic matches were fantastic on Saturday.
Yeah, a lot of fun. Pile driver finisher is in his feels. Mortos should not be losing. Stop.
Like, man, don't watch
lies.
AEW if you don't want Beast Mortos to lose, because he's going to lose.
Would you rather he go back to TNA? Ain't much better there for him. He'll go back to AAA. It's okay. Yeah, the matches were solid. It was a lot of fun, but CT will roll on in Holiday Bash. They've got that and Shelton Benjamin and Beast Mortos, so you can see Beast Mortos lose again.
Yeah, I don't feel like that's going to go well for the Beast Mortos.
But the Mark Briscoe stuff is fun because at the beginning of the tournament, he was like, I've never really been a singles wrestler before. And this is it. He's learning. So he's learning and he gets a few wins, and that's going to be how he kind of grows further as a singles competitor in the eyes of the fans.
Mark Briscoe is so good, and it's honestly upsetting that there wasn't more done with him as the ROH champion, because they put the title on Jericho to like, oh, let's boost some numbers and get a television deal and stuff. If you just put Mark Briscoe consistently on that show and gave him good feuds, and I know people like Mark Briscoe's above ROH and probably should be on AEW television. Like, I get that. I understand that. But it's the Athena principle. Like, Athena should be in that spot as well, but she's not. She's just on ROH TV. And it makes her stand out more. And it makes ROH, that's like the one standout they have, is Athena. If you had done the same thing with Mark Briscoe, people would actually be like talking about ROH and not just dismissing it of like, hey, look, there's good stuff going on ROH. You got Athena and you got Mark Briscoe. Instead, they just put Mark Briscoe in a mid-card group on AEW television, which is like fine, but he could have actually like carried that brand alongside Athena and given you a reason to tune in to that brand. Again, if you want to make the argument Athena and Mark Briscoe should be doing more on AEW television, I wholeheartedly agree. But Mark Briscoe is just a guy on AEW TV, and Athena is not on AEW TV. But Athena has specialness because of what she does in ROH. You could have done the same thing with Mark Briscoe. He's so good, and people want to love him, and people want to connect with him. He's just not given that opportunity as much as he probably should be, whether it be on AEW or it certainly wasn't happening on ROH.
Yeah, but Mark Briscoe is not going to show up at a GCW event in LA.
So people took this as like, oh, and look, I'm hopeful that it means something for AEW and GCW and like Ricky Starks actually get some dates out of this. When I saw Chris Jericho, I was like, Chris Jericho's going to do what the fuck he wants.
Yeah, it's Chris Jericho. Yeah. And he's wearing an AEW shirt because it's heat and he understands how to do that. Like, that's all it was.
Hi, guys!
It's an egregiously long cheer.
Yeah,
yeah, it was
just the still frame. I don't want to get copyrighted.
Yeah. Boom. Yeah, it was.
Well, I did that one too.
Boom! It's so Sean's gonna message me and be like, got it on Facebook again. He's never told us about this, by the way.
Yeah, this is the first time we heard about
this was we were both like, what? We'll stop, but you need to tell us. But he never told us, and then he didn't seem that asked by it during the stream either.
Yeah, whatever.
It is what it is. Costco guys can give us some money later.
Boo! I want Big AJ on the show. I want Big Boom AJ on the show.
I do too. Bad. Maybe if we get Stephen Flo, that'll bring Big Boom AJ. Or, Costco guy AJ. That's what I want. Anyway, the Jericho GCW stuff. I mean, I don't know if you have it. I know you, honestly, I feel like you and Jensen are going to talk about it ad nauseum on Thursday because Jensen is ready to talk about it. So, yeah, I was listening to the Weekender this morning. He was like, I'll give my thoughts on the Weekender or on the Spotlight on Thursday. I don't think it'll be like a full on, topic other than indies, but it all depends how much time he has after.
It just felt like Jericho was showing up because Jericho can show up. It didn't feel like, ooh, this is going to be the start of something between AEW And GCW, it's like, Jericho's Jericho. He can get away with this stuff. I hope, again, for the sake of Ricky Starks, who got screwed out of some dates, I hope it leads to something for him. But I don't know if it will. And I don't think this is an indicator that it will. I think this was Jericho being Jericho. But hopefully it becomes more.
Yeah, exactly. So for now, that was just another chapter in the ongoing conversation of Matt Cardona and Chris Jericho. Live at Final Battle this Friday night.
Fuck, that show's on Friday?
Yeah, it's this Friday.
I assume Kimmy's going to be on the show on Friday.
So she thinks she's coming on. I'm just going to change the link to this damn room.
That's not going to happen.
That would be very funny if I did, though. Anyway.
That'll bully Kimmy into replacing you full time. So
that's true. You can still try. I mean, she showed up to our watch along and stuck around for the full 2 hours for whatever reason.
Yeah, I gave her that link. That was my deal.
I knew it. I said some pretty out of pocket shit I'm very proud of.
You were against women on that show.
Hey, that's not true. I made one comment about it. Doesn't mean I stood by it.
I had to write a note card that said your views are not mine. I was offended.
That was your own decision to make. You were feigning offense, is what you
I
did.
was not feigning offense.
You were
I was
feigning offense.
I was like, oh, Joel, kind of. That I don't know about that comment, Joel. I don't know.
Go back and watch the show. It's fine.
Yeah, don't go back and watch that.
Don't go back and watch the show. It's fine. Yeah. Okay. I will quickly touch on it. Tessa Blanchard did return on Friday. All I need to tell you people, sorry. When I say you people is
we're talking about Tessa Blanchard?
Yes.
This will be on air.
This one's on the air. Yeah, she showed up, Final Resolution, and she beat up Jordan Grace, and the crowd didn't give a shit. And that's kind of where I'm at with that. She's gonna
God damn,
spoiler alerts. Spoiler alerts. Spoiler alerts. They're gonna have a match at Genesis. Sure, Jordan Grace will lose the match to Tessa, and we'll be off to whatever races those are.
I'm so hungry.
Yeah, me too. I'm really there. It was stupid. Listen, at the end of the day, what really annoys me are people wanting to go to bat for Tessa. And here's why. I'm going to make it very plain and simple. Others have said it, and I'll reiterate it once again. Is she a good wrestler? Yes. She's a talented professional wrestler. Does that mean that she deserves the situation to be given a second chance? No, her wrestling alone is not the reason to give anybody a second chance. To show no signs of remorse, to show no signs of any sort of just a shred of remorse for what she did, or apologize for what she did and what she's been accused of, to never talk about the claims publicly, to never put them out there, to never make any amends. That's the problem. That continues to be the problem. Her coming in and just having good matches is not good enough. It's obnoxious. And it is, yeah. This is her third chance, Ryan Lambert says in the chat.
Third?
Yeah, because WoW was the second chance.
Oh, fuck.
Because WoW was supposed to be her redemption project. And then guess what happened? The same thing that got her out on the first one. And the stuff with La Rosa Negra we talked about, the photo and all that. But La Rosa Negra also had done interviews where she said she never apologized. She never forgave her. She never apologized to me. I decided to forgive her because I can't live with being angry at someone for the rest of my life. La Rosa Negra decided to move on. Tessa never did shit. She never apologized. She never showed remorse. There was never an apology, according to La Rosa Negra. So that's why people are annoyed that Tessa's getting another chance. And again, the TNA locker room was not informed of this ahead of her appearance.
Yeah, that kind of rules still.
still. And then listen, I understand that certain wrestlers are still going to be friends outside of work and we don't know everything, but it's just The optics are bad. They continue to be bad. And for her to have shown up, it was expected. Crowd clearly didn't give a shit. And I saw a bunch of videos from the TNA tapings of people just like kind of sitting on their hands when Tessa showed up. There's one video that I thought was hilarious. It was Tessa shows up and the camera pans to the guy sitting next to his buddy, and his buddy's playing like NBA on a Steam Deck. I thought that was just perfect telling. I'm like, what are we doing? Like, what are we doing? Tessa can have a second chance when Tessa finally acknowledges that she fucked up when she was younger and makes amends for the things she said and proves that she has changed and is better for it. And that's not to me anyway. People are going to feel how they feel. You want to give second chances because you showed up? That's enough for you? Go for it. But for me, until I see some tangible form of acknowledgement that she screwed up and that she can be better, I'll wait for that. And then I'll decide how I feel. Nobody lied on Tessa, by the way. That there are multiple people. So don't give me that. I think people were lying about. No, there were multiple people with the same stories at the same time. Don't give me that. Oh, she was younger and anything. Come on, man. Don't give me that. No better.
I said what I needed to say on Friday. I don't have much to add.
That's fine. The rest of the show was whatever. The rest of the show, the Hardys did the car crash.
JBL wasn't even bothered.
JBL didn't give a shit to show up. Didn't care enough about AJ Francis to show up. He's like, oh, there's already a guy with initials here, so I'm just going to lean back and hang out. That was it.
I got nothing to add about Tessa. If she's made amends, there's ways to prove that. She has to prove it to the locker room, not to. Honestly, she doesn't prove it to us. If she's proven it to the locker room, more power to her. Like I said on Friday, I don't think Tessa or anybody, this has nothing to do with Tessa. I don't think if they're booking her for this is going to get us an extra 10,000, 50,000, 100,000 viewers, I don't think Tessa's that person. I don't think anybody's that person. If you can tell good stories around Tessa, okay, then bring her in as long as there's some amends and remorse shown. If there's not, y'all got to deal with that in your own locker room. That doesn't affect me. I don't give a shit about that. That's going to affect y'all and y'all's tapings and how everybody in that locker room feels about thing. I did think it was hilarious that Jordan Grace, I know I posted to Steve Austin, are you working or are you shooting, brother? Because she's like, Jordan Grace, like, I knew you were ignorant, but I didn't know you were stupid as well. And like, she's talking about Tessa attacking her and things have changed since you've been here. I was like, oh, you're working or you shooting, brother? I don't know. But Tessa's got to prove that stuff. You know, that's on Tessa to prove. And that's on fans to decide what they're going to forgive and what they're not going to forgive. But if they're doing it because this is going to get us so much buzz, we got Tessa Blanchard. It's not. It's just not. There's nobody out there unless you're going to get John Cena or Roman Reigns or Cody Rhodes. There's nobody out there that's going to be like, ooh, we're now all of a sudden going to add hundreds of thousands of viewers. They don't have that person. That person's not out there. They're just not.
I'm glad our chat can't see the one person on Twitter having a full-on meltdown about stupid shit right now. It's fantastic. And then Joe Hendry is also, Twitter's stupid. Twitter is stupid. Stop using it. Finally, Joe Hendry won the 4-way. Not Mike Santana. Upset me greatly.
Were you?
No, not really. But they can't honey dick you further. No, I was just kind of like, okay, don't honey dick them further. Now they have to tell the Hendry and JBL.
Have you ever stuck your dick in honey, Joel?
It seems painful. I feel like it would make your urethra burn for days.
People keep talking about honey dicking.
For some reason, SP3 brought it up on a post-Raw show with Phil. And Phil was like, I've never heard this before in my life. And SP3 is explaining him on the air what the fuck it means. And I'm sitting there, I'm walking, and I'm just laughing because I was like, I know what this is. I know what this is. I know what this is.
Does it make your...
Go ahead. Does it smell better? Does it make it sweeter?
Yeah. Like if you come, does it like...
I mean, I feel like it just kind of gets stuck.
Is it like extra sticky? You know?
I mean, it's already... anyway.
Yeah, it is.
Yeah, so I mean, probably.
I feel like it'd be harder to clean up.
It's already pretty hard to clean up.
Maybe if they got like a sore throat, like the honey and the cum works together and it helps the sore throat.
I think it's supposed to be honey and hot. Well, I guess coming. What about ginger? Yeah, no, right. It's like what I said. Like what I said to Ryan. Did he irritate the urethra? That's what I said. It's like shampoo. It's the same thing. Wasabi's not any better. What are you thinking?
Fuck.
We go from yelling at each other for the first 30 minutes of the shit.
Joel and I actually really like each other. I don't like to admit that very often. I only yell at Joel when he's stupid, and he was stupid earlier.
No, I wasn't. I was right earlier. He could tell the world. He could tell.
Joel and I don't hold a grudge against each other like past this show. Like we do our. It's not even a bit. Like I really think you were being stupid earlier, but I still love you.
No, you're talking about I was
We
right.
have our fun, and that's it. You know, that's it.
Anyway, Henry.
This show, much like professional wrestling, should not be taken serious.
Never.
It just should. If Joel and I are arguing, that probably means like we actually really believe in what we're saying, but we move on from that. It's like we do this show 3 days a week because we actually like each other and have fun doing this. I'm trying to get Joel to do this show 5 days a week, but he's being a bitch and won't do it.
Yeah, because you ain't paying me enough to do it 3 days a week. Why am I going to start 5?
I'm trying, Joel. I'm trying.
Sean, during the holiday stream, I thought had it best. Joel, did you watch the Drew McIntyre on Busted Open interview? When I said I don't watch Busted, I don't think about Busted Open.
Sean didn't get the bit. And I couldn't speak, so I couldn't be like, Busted Open sucks and the Weeds is better.
Sean knows the bit. That's the Sean compartmentalizes a lot of the bits. That's the problem here.
Honey dicking. Let's talk about honey dicking and honeycomb.
Is that a new cereal?
Honeycomb is a cereal?
Remember Honeycomb?
I know Honeycomb. Yeah. It's good shit. Honeycomb cereal is very good.
The mascot with his honeycomb. Is there honeycomb?
The bee is jacking off and just.
This is so awful.
Sean played that video of me laughing. You saw that, right?
It's right, of course.
I didn't know what the fuck that was from. I was like, when did this happen?
This is your old place, right?
Yes. This was when I still lived in North Carolina. I think it was an exclusive for everybody. For those who watched the holiday stream and saw this video. Because like I was thinking, like if you saw my face during it, like I'm actually like thinking really hard, which hurts my brain. I'm thinking of like, when was this? Here's what I think it was. It was during the pandemic. I think Sasha and Bailey had done the lying on the floor, crying, laughing gimmick. And I wrote an article about it. And I thought it was hilarious. And Sean thought it was hilarious. And so I think I was lying on the floor, crying and laughing. And it was recorded. And I sent it to Sean of like, this is my, and he saved it for some reason, clearly. And he pulled it up. I think that's what it's from. So there you go. Jeremy lying on the floor, crying, throwing a fit because I had to lose the fucking women's championships.
Lisa wasn't the digital media championship.
Honeycombing dicking.
Anyway, point is, Point of all this is Joe
I
Hendry.
need
has to
another
win the
damn
title.
drink after that shit. Jesus.
Oh God. Yeah, Joe Hendry. Has
And
to
here
win.
we go.
Oh God, no. I guess we got 5 minutes left on this show.
Now we're going over today. This has been
Do
a
we-
fun show. This has
do
been a
we have
great
to?
show today.
I ain't got much else other than we talk
Can you
about.
go over?
What? Can I?
Yeah.
I mean, I can. I just don't know what the hell we're going to talk about.
We got
What do you
plenty to talk about.
Do we though?
Yeah. We got New Japan. We didn't even touch on New Japan.
Yeah, we'll talk a
Okay,
little
hold
bit about
on.
New Japan. It's not like that show was like setting the world on fire.
Hold on. That was a good show. SP3 says hire me for Tuesdays and Thursdays. Can you do this Tuesday and Thursdays, 10 o'clock?
Ain't much money in this gimmick. I tell you that, SP3. Don't expect
SP3's
a lot.
not in it for the money. He's not like you, Joel. He's in it for the love of
He
the
should
game.
be.
He's in it for the love of the game.
Oh, we can't all have.
If
Can't-
I can legitimately do this show, we're doing a production meeting on air here. If I can legitimately do this show with Joel, Monday, Wednesday, Friday, 10 a.m., and with SP3, can't speak, and with SP3, Tuesday and Thursday, 10 a.m., I'll move in the weeds to 5 days a week starting in 2025.
You are going to absolutely regret that decision.
I don't think I am.
You're going to have to talk about NXT on Tuesdays.
I love NXT. Are you kidding me?
Oh, now I know we have a problem.
Thea Hale tweeted. Thea Hale just tweeted. Louis saying, keep FMC alive. Tuesday's show will basically be FMC. Are you kidding me? We gotta talk about something. Like
In the
it'll still be
FMCs.
FMC. It'll actually be more FMC because we'll talk about basketball on Tuesdays and we'll talk about basketball on Thursdays. So we'll get kind of more FMC talk, honestly.
I feel like this is turning into not what it's supposed to be.
What do you mean?
I don't know.
Okay.
What are we at?
And here we go.
Oh, Jesus Christ. This is going to turn.
I'm going to go get some Chinese food after this or something.
Oh, that's a good idea.
Is this Chinese food go to a tequila?
Yeah, well, anything does with Chinese food. It's all right.
Chinese food rules.
Just order it in from Uber Eats. You'll be fine.
We actually got like an Uber Eats gift card, so
Perfect.
I'm like gonna order this on air.
Lunch
I'm gonna
is-
text the wife. What do you want from China Dragon?
I've got some salad and I got some leftover chicken. Mix that up, put it in a wrap. Perfect. Maybe some shredded cheese and guac.
Oh fuck! This has been the dumbest show we've ever done.
No, I'm sure we've done dumber.
Yeah, we've
Boom.
done much dumber.
There was a whole episode with Boom. Let's face it, that ruled. But like,
That show is really good though.
that's true.
Yeah.
All right, 10 Riza sent that super chat. New Japan Long Beach was fun and so good. Wrestle Kingdom, Wrestle Dynasty will be fun. I was waiting on that one. Yeah, Mina Shirakawa and Mercedes are going to have a match at Wrestle Dynasty. It's going to be for the New Japan Strong and the Rev Pro Women's Championships. So
assuming Mina
everyone's-
Shirakawa,
yes,
yeah,
assuming everyone still has those titles when they get there. That is the plan. And then they danced. They danced to Danza Kuduro.
Okay, we're gonna continue to do production meetings on air.
Okay.
Joel doesn't even get a flat rate for this show, SP3. It's dependent on basically how much we bring in. So you'll continue to get paid as much as we bring in. If you're fine with that, we can make this happen. I assume we'll bring in more if we do this show. Look, this is the biggest show we have on the channel.
It is. Yes.
Yeah. I love all the shows we have on the show. This is the biggest show we have. It just is.
Mhm.
So you'll get more than what you get paid on the monthly payout that I do for everybody. I can promise that much is you'll actually get more off of that. Look, I love this show. I would love to do this show 5 days a week.
Okay, the Raw logo is not the BAW logo.
Ball.
Remember the BAW, the crappy Netflix Raw logo that went around?
Oh, ball so hard.
Triple H just posted a video, a promotional video. Real, rebellious, raw. Welcome to WWE RAW on Netflix. And it's literally him walking.
It's pretty similar, isn't it?
No, it's similar to the one they have now. It's raw with the things. Like I like this better than the BAW one.
Yeah, that one sucked.
I gotta find the. I used it for a that stupid logo. I used it for one of our thumbnails.
Did you?
Yeah, I did because it
Okay.
had gone around. Where is it? Here it is. This was the one that had gone around. Episode 253 when I had to change the thumbnail. So 253B, and that was the logo that went around.
Oh yeah, that logo sucked.
Yeah, that idea was not good. So it's not that one. It's a different one. It's the actual like Raw that you've seen. It's a good one. It's a better one.
Okay.
Anyway, he just
for people who haven't seen it, I can pull it up. I can hold on. So this is it's on a video clip.
I mean, I can do a screen cap, really.
I got you. It's uploaded
got it?
now. It's fine. Yeah. So here's the Raw logo. There you go.
Yeah, that's exactly the cap that I had.
Yeah. That's fine. You know, all good. Netflix on Raw is a pretty big deal. They're doing a Roman match. Roman only wrestles like he's hitting his quota immediately in January.
Was that his first Raw match? I think someone said since 2022.
That makes 2022.
Yeah.
Ooh, I don't even know about that.
Well, I'm gonna take a look. Maybe been a singles match.
Got it. Yeah. Yeah, maybe he wrestled on Raw. Okay, so it's his first Raw match since
2022. Bloodline. 20. Yeah.
Yeah, Bloodline match. Yeah.
Wow.
When do you think it's his first singles match since 2019?
And who did he face? The current TNA World Champion, Dolph Ziggler.
Bless Roman. That guy's got the game figured out, honestly.
Wild.
He's got the game figured out.
Good for him.
Did you watch New Japan last night?
I watched bits and pieces.
Don't lie to the people, Joel.
No, I did watch bits and pieces. I watched the Gabe Kick promo. I thought that was very funny. I like that he's like, I'm gonna take on Tomohiro Ishii after I beat up Kenny Omega. And I'm just like, wow, you went from one extreme to the other, didn't you?
It's funny that he's like, Tomohiro Ishii's like a giant loser. And he's like, anyway, I'm gonna face this guy.
I'm just like, huh? Oh man. What did you think of the dancing? I know that was a big like topic of conversation.
CEO.
Do the shake.
The Mina Shirakawa shake.
Yeah. The Mina shake. The Shirakawa shakes.
Yeah.
I laughed.
Like it was fine. Like I don't know why people were upset about it. I guess I do know why they were upset about it. Like it was fine. It was a good show. I continue to say it. In ring, you can't touch Mercedes. You just can't.
Great main event. Great match.
You can't touch her in ring. I wish there would be enough stories that go along with it when it comes to AEW. But in ring, well, she's had some AEW stinkers. There's no doubt about that. Like the standard she's held to. She's held to a higher standard than a lot of the women's wrestlers because we know how great she is. So when she gives a 3 out of 5 performance, people are like, oh, this is a 1 out of 5. But when Mercedes is on and when she's working with opponents who can reach her level, she's the best female wrestler in America. I've said that for years, and it continues to be proven true every single time she's in the ring with an opponent that can get up to her level. And we saw it last night against Suzuki. And we're probably going to see it against Mina Shirakawa on January 5th. She's so good. And I wish there would be more based on her when it comes to in-ring in AEW instead of the backstage segments, instead of the Camille stuff and everything. But I mean, we did get this gem.
Are you stupid or are you done?
Perfect. Oh man, do you do dances when you win matches?
I dance all the time on this show, Joel.
That is true. You do dance a lot. Do the dance. Do the dance too. Do the dance. Do the dance.
I don't know if I can follow that.
Do the dance. Do the dance.
Don't
do
know
it.
Come on, SP3.
Do the dance. I'm kicking you out.
I'll do the Mina Shirakawa.
Yes.
Oh, that. She was sitting all
Come on,
that.
same time, SP3. Same time. CEO.
Yep. Mm-hmm. Yep. If you're an audio listener, I feel bad for you right now.
Every
They don't get
Tuesdays
it.
and Thursdays, starting in January 2025, me and SV3 just dancing and shit.
Oh, so that's been confirmed. That's what I came for. I came
This
to.
is like
We'll talk
Raw
off
on
there.
Netflix.
We'll talk off the air. We'll talk off
We'll
the air.
shake. We'll shake on it. We'll do.
This is like Raw on
spiritual
Netflix.
shake.
My God.
And you guys, you're not equipped, Joel, to talk about New Japan.
Facts.
You're just talking about dancing.
True.
That's
That's
what
all
New
that
Japan
happened?
is. New Japan is just a dance. It's strictly
How
ballroom. Is
dare
what they
you?
are. New Japan is just dance show.
Jesus Christ.
Just dance show.
It's a dance show where they yell at each other.
He's like, hey, Mina Shirkans versus Mercedes Moné at a show in January, and they danced. That's all that happened, folks. That's New Japan Strong Style.
Okay,
Evolved.
fine.
I got Chinese to
new-
order, guys.
New strong tag.
I'm ordering Chinese.
New
I'm
strong
ordering
tag
Chinese.
champs. I know everyone's really excited about them. You know,
The West Coast Wrecking Crew, hell yeah, they got
Good
the
for
biggest
them.
pop. Got the biggest pop of their career.
it helps that they were also on the West Coast.
That
too.
was. Did we really need another title change? That felt like another we got to do a title change because New Japan just has to do a title change on every single show.
I know, and it made me feel like a jinx because I interviewed Grizzled Young Veterans this week. And
You
then-
did. You did.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Can't wait till that airs by comment where I was like, yeah, I'm a fan of yours when you retain the New Japan Strong Tag Team titles. And
Hey,
when
what
that happened, I was just like, I jinxed ya.
what were you wearing for that interview?
I was wearing a plain white shirt because
Oh.
that's what you should wear on every interview.
Very
I'm
professional.
not doing an
Can't show
interview
bias.
today,
Yeah.
so
Can't
that's
show
why I'm
bias.
wearing a Bullet Club shirt.
Yeah,
Who are you
super
interviewing today?
professional 3.
I said I'm not doing an interview.
Oh,
today.
not doing. Okay.
Yeah, I learned my lesson. I'm never gonna wear a wrestling shirt ever again in life. Whenever I meet a wrestler,
That's fine. And don't walk into the shot when that wrestler is making an exit from.
Don't have a
promo.
Rey Mysterio mask in the background if you're interviewing TNA talent.
Yeah,
also true.
or a Ottawa Senators WWE fanny pack, or La Parka TNA superstar La Parka, or an independent. Remember that company, Independent? Nobody talks about it anymore because the guy who was also a part of it was a huge piece of shit. But the other people who ran it were actually really great.
Jeez.
Fuck you, Max Barsky. So anyway,
But no,
Wow.
the real talking point, the reason why people are talking about New Japan Strong Style Evolved, that name is a mouthful. That's what she said. But
oh, you honey dicking again.
Yeah, the honeycomb is also a
That caught me.
mouthful.
I was gonna say in the comments, so I'll say it on here. This was the best use of a joke that I made by other people ever. The best extension of a joke I've ever made ever on stream. Thank you guys. I want to give it up for both
We
of
got
these
you.
gentlemen. Their
We got
comedic timing and their chemistry kind of made that shine. So I want to compliment y'all for that. But yes, the main event, Mercedes Moné, Hazuki. Oh my God. This might have been the best women's match of 2024 and one of the best women's matches that I've ever seen. Like, I think it's up there as far as Mercedes Moné's best matches ever. I would say the only one better is Bayley. That's it for me right now. Like, I know it might be recency bias. Maybe I need a second look at it, but it was just a great storytelling. While the cops come and get me for my
Yeah.
opinion, they must be Becky Lynch fans. But
Becky
Mercedes
Lynch? Why are you hating on Becky Lynch?
Wow.
No, it's all the Four Horsewomen fans. They're against each other. If you're a fan of Mercedes, you can't be a fan of Becky. If you're a fan of Becky, you can't be a fan of Charlotte. If you're a fan of Charlotte, can't be a fan of Bayley. That's usually how it goes. Bayley and Mercedes fans, they're usually mixed up. But Mercedes just put on a great. I think that she just excels as the heel champion. Just a cocky heel champion, in control. She has a great arsenal of moves. She's very physical and could put a beating on someone. You should have saw the bruises on Hazuki's face at the end of the matchup. But Hazuki brought it right back at her in the fight from underneath. And the crowd, which really was into Mercedes from the beginning, while Hazuki came out to kind of like a respectful reaction. Like, oh, hey, yeah. But by the middle of this matchup, they treated her like she was the biggest babyface. It felt like a star-making performance for her. And Mercedes just really, I feel like with this performance mixed with the Full Gear performance against Chris Statlander, she kind of got the stink off from the All events. All in and All Out were not good for Mercedes Moné. She needed that rebound at Full Gear, and this felt like, okay, this is Jordan. Jordan was like 5 for 23. Then Jordan came back, scored 30, and then this is Jordan scoring 50. This was like a 50-point game. 30-point game was Full Gear. This was like 50-point game. I'm still one of the best out here. Mercedes Moné.
8 for 24 in the finals, game 7 still wins you the finals MVP. So Mercedes is in good company.
There you go.
Kobe stat for everybody.
I know you just took a shot at Kobe. No one's brought up Kobe, but he just want to take a shot at Kobe because I'm here.
How is it a shot? I gave him credit for winning finals MVP. He shot like trash in that game. What do you want me to say?
But he made the key assist. The key
He
pass.
won. He still won finals MVP. He still won
Key
finals
pass.
MVP.
Key pass to Meta World Peace. Meta World Peace. The greatest accomplishment of his lifetime. His kids. And Kobe passed me the ball. He really passed. He never passes me the ball.
That was a great quote. Look, Shea shot like trash on Saturday. He's like 8 for 21 and still scored 30. Thunder won. That's all that matters. That's all that matters.
The Young Bucks showed up.
Allegedly.
I
like how they show up to New Japan and they're like, yeah, we can't bother with AEW. Kenny Omega, same way.
Well,
I was like, what's with the Elite? The Elite just said New Japan's more important to us. New Japan needs us more than
because the Death Riders are taking over AEW and they're like, oh, we don't want to get in the way of that. Let them handle themselves over there. We are going to be here in the prime comfort zone of New Japan professional styles of wrestling, and we'll see you later once Moxley's dead. Because that's the logical conclusion to the Death Rider story, right? Like Moxley gets that's it, right? They did it to Danielson.
They're not going to kill John Moxley.
Well, I mean, yeah, I guess they're not TNA, but like, come on, you could try.
I mean, look, I'm all for more murders in wrestling. People know that's my brand at this point, but I don't think they're going to kill John Moxley. We don't know what happened to FTR. I did, for those wondering, I did tweet at Dax and see if he was okay. He's not replied yet.
He might not be okay.
I'll try to get the exclusive for everybody.
What about Cash? Did you talk to him?
He doesn't tweet.
Oh, that's right.
Yeah, he doesn't tweet. So I can't message him.
What about Adam Copeland?
He's like winning Emmys allegedly. So
he's nominated. He ain't winning yet.
Well, he might win.
He might win.
Yeah.
Be very funny if he does. Good for him. I hope he does.
Why would it be funny? Why are you a hater?
First WWE Hall of Famer to win an Emmy.
So someone's got to win.
I want to thank the Academy for winning for Percy Jackson. They took me to this place that I did not know I could go to.
No,
That's
you forgot one thing. You forgot one thing from this speech. He was like, you know what separates me from all the other nominees?
Chris. That's his whole speech right there. We've done it for him.
When are the Emmys? When is this? Was it the regular?
It's not like the legit Emmys. It's like
it's the
children's
family and children's.
Yeah.
Emmys.
Well, I'm nominated for an Emmy. Yeah, okay. Is it the Children and Family Emmy Awards?
It doesn't really count. Like, let's be honest.
When is that award show? December? No, those are nominations. The second annual. When is this show?
There you go. Second annual.
It seems bad. But when is this show?
It doesn't actually exist, Joel. It's a figment.
I can see that.
It's a figment of Adam Copeland's imagination.
Shouldn't
they do it on social media for the views, you know?
That's right. That's right. It's not on television. They don't reward the television viewers.
That's those views. What about them?
On TV, they're like, and the nominees are, go to our Twitter page to see who won.
Good.
why reward them? You know?
Yeah, why reward television viewers?
March 15th is the award show. What is that? That's a Saturday night.
Oh, okay.
So Copeland's not going to be at Collision.
He's gonna work Collision that night and send in a video.
He should do a speech from Collision.
Yes, live on air, simulcast.
Honestly, that would rule.
Nope, sorry folks, can't do it. March 12th, they're taping Dynamite and Collision in Fresno. Sorry folks.
Well, maybe you pull Rick Rude. He'll be on Collision Wrestling, and then he'll be
they should work
children's Emmys.
They should absolutely have someone cutting that together for him. That would be fantastic.
That would rule.
Oh man. Me Norma sent a super chat saying, shout out to my 3-21 Wizards. My God, keep up the bad work and let's win the draft lottery in 25. Will there be any meat on Dynamite? I already got tickets. I hope so. I mean, Darby and Will is this week, so that's not a meaty match, but
Shelton and Beast.
Mortos, yeah, pretty good.
Yeah, you get Mercedes and Anna Jay. It's a good match.
That's a lean fight. Except for NJ. Damn it!
I was waiting for you to come back with something there.
Couldn't do it. I'm sure more matches for Dynamite will be announced. That'll get.
They'll announce them at 10 o'clock on a Thursday, like they always do, or on Tuesday. Sorry.
After NXT, they'll announce a big match, and everyone will be like, "Oh, okay," and then we'll add it to our rundown on Wednesday morning.
Anything else we have to talk about?
I don't think so. Is there anything else we got to talk about? I mean, our New Japan correspondent here ain't got much else to basically proving my point here.
No, we talked about Young Bucks being there. We talked about the match, like the great main event. I'm going to talk more about it over on the True Hill Heat YouTube channel. Check us out. Subscribe over there. We're 100 subscribers away from 20K. So
get them there.
If you haven't already.
You should get them there.
You're welcome. But yeah, I'll go prep for that. Thank you, guys.
Thank you, SP3.
Later.
He's always fun. Oh, God. He's a good.
We're hopefully going to do in FMC tomorrow. We couldn't do it last week because of StreamYard. That was not our call. StreamYard was just like, the audio is not going to work. So we're like, oh, what are we supposed to do?
Video was very funny for that.
Yeah. So we couldn't do the show. But the Thunder are in the NBA Cup Finals. That's tomorrow night. I'll be watching that instead of NXT. So apologies to NXT.
I'm sure they'll be perfectly fine. Raw preview.
I'll watch everything on socials because they don't care about the television viewer anyway.
I mean, NXT basically puts everything on socials as it happens anyway. So what does it matter? Kofi Kingston appears tonight. No Woods. Where's Woods?
I feel like Woods is going to be there as well. I know they're just hyping Kofi Kingston, but it feels like Woods is going to be there as well, right?
I agree. Maybe it'll be Kofi and the TikTokers having a conversation. Well, because you got Karrion Kross being all excited, like I did this. Good for you, Kofi. You finally saw it.
Bro, it rules that Karrion Kross is like, I am the reason for WWE.
Perfect. Stephanie McMahon's gonna come back and be like, not the women, and he'll be like, yeah, sure, all yours. Because CM Punk and Seth Rollins are individually slated to appear. Will they appear together? We'll find out tonight on Monday Night Raw. Set up something for Netflix.
I feel like that's gonna be a fire segment. Like it was good the other week when they went toe to toe, and I mean the brawl wasn't good because CM Punk's throwing like the phantom punches and everything, but the promo stuff was good.
Yeah.
So I feel like if they're doing a promo segment, it's probably going to be good stuff. Meet Normus, please do not put incorrect information in the chat. They made the playoffs. They lost in the first round.
Wow.
I do have a tweet that like is basically set to run of like, especially if the Thunder win, of historically the NBA Cup champion has not won a playoff series, so this is bad news for my Thunder. So, but that tweet's gonna run regardless, whether the Bucks or the Thunder win.
Gotcha. Intercontinental Championship, Braun Breaker defends against Ludwig Kaiser. And then Gunter appears and says, Braun Breaker, you're next. I don't think so. But this will be a fun match. You think Ludwig wins the Intercontinental Championship?
Absolutely not.
What do we?
I like Ludwig Kaiser, but like he ain't winning that.
Who's next for Braun at that point? Maybe someone's coming through the transfer portal. I'd probably want that.
Yeah, you can bring somebody over.
Santos Escobar.
I would love if it's Santos Escobar. I think they should do more with him.
I just want him to win a damn match.
Yeah.
Maybe, I mean, Santos isn't doing anything on SmackDown on camera right now. So maybe that's it. Easy as that.
I wish they do more with Chad Gable too. I think there's a good feud between Braun and Chad Gable.
So is Chad considered to have moved to SmackDown, or was he just introducing the idea and he showed up on that episode of SmackDown because he's Minnesotan?
I think he was just introducing the idea. I think the only person who's been like confirmed as moving is Braun Strowman.
Big deal.
Yeah, he squashed Carmelo Hayes and people got mad about that. I'm like, why?
I'm sure it'll be part of a story. Like I understand if you're a Mello fan that you're hoping for more out of him. And I get it. You're probably wanting him to stand out more. To me, it's like it's part of his journey. He's going to suck. He's going to be full of himself. There is the, first draft pick didn't pan out. There are stories like that in real sports. Like you can tell that story. He's going to lose and he's going to get you upset. And eventually he will probably turn it around and win, barring any unforeseen backstage circumstances. So, yeah. Yes, there is Punk tonight. We talked about that. And tag team championships, Judgment Day versus the War Raiders. I think we're getting new tag champions tonight so that we can do War Raiders and New Day.
I don't know.
Well, I think they're turning the War Raiders babyface for this so that
they're already babyface, aren't they?
I don't know I think they're considered tweeners because
they're babyfaces.
Regardless, I think War Raiders win because also Judgment Day is barred from ringside, so it's just Finn and Big Head. So they'll go up against War Raiders. Maybe Damian Priest costs them the match, and War Raiders win.
I don't know, maybe, but now that I feel like Balor's out of the world title picture, so yeah. I feel like they can win this match because I don't think they're putting the titles on New Day that quickly. I think eventually you should get to New Day. But I don't feel like it's going to be like next week or anything.
No, but I wouldn't mind them doing it by like the Royal Rumble. Have them win them on. Well, I wouldn't do it on Netflix because that's like now everyone's coming to do the Netflix and everyone's going to win. So like that's something that you can put on an episode of Raw. Be okay. Give the War Raiders a few weeks, and then in the new year, not on the first episode, but like going into the Rumble.
Well, they got Saturday night's main event before the Rumble. They can do it on social media after Saturday night's
perfect.
Main event.
That's perfect. End the show. Big Gunter wins a big match.
What if
he leaves the ring and the War Raiders are like, we want to defend our tag titles on the show? And New Day are like, okay, bitch. And 1, 2, 3, 30 seconds.
New Day. When did New Day win the titles?
They win them. They won them on socials. Everyone was watching. Where were you?
All right. I don't feel like
more tickets were sold as a result of this. By the way,
I don't feel like I don't feel like War Raiders are gonna win tonight. I think Judgment Day retains.
I think War Raiders win. I think that New Day go up next and they get the titles. Right. That's my idea. But we'll see. Plenty to talk about. Wednesday we'll be back. Allegedly. Jeremy will be here. Allegedly.
I'll definitely be here. Joel runs from the grind. It might not be here.
If I'm sick, we'll see. Right now I'm okay. Just coughing a lot.
Jimmy Traina from Sports Illustrated, he has no reason to lie. Hearing that WWE Saturday night's main event on NBC drew more total viewers head-to-head than Rockets Thunder NBA Cup game on ABC Saturday night. But, those viewers who watched Saturday night's main event should not be rewarded.
No, they've already been rewarded with a new episode of Monday Night Raw tonight, live on USA Network. Tune in at 8 p.m. Eastern, and so on and so forth. Listen, don't honey dick yourselves between now and Wednesday. We don't want to hear about your experiences, the burning sensations, and so on and so forth.
Burning sensations?
Trust me. Jeremy, anything to plug?
Never.
Perfect. If you don't take your honey, then you never know what happens. For Jeremy Lambert, I'm at Joel Pearl. We'll be back Wednesday, 10 a.m. Eastern to maybe yell at each other. I don't know yet. We'll figure it out.
If you have stupid opinions, I'm gonna yell at you, Joel.
We're gonna spend so many shorts are gonna be angertainment spent anyway. Oh, you know who I am. Actual Pearl, JOELPEARL. Ladies, gentlemen, friends beyond the binary. We'll see you on Wednesday.